Hello everybody and welcome to AT&T Stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys for tonight's Blue-Gray All-American Bowl presented by the Impact Football Network. I'm Ryan Castle with former Nebraska Cornhusker and Buffalo Bill Sheldon Jackson and our entire Impact Football Network crew as we get ready to bring you yet another Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. This will feature some of the best high school football players from around the country looking to get some final exposure as we head into the recruiting season. The first national signing day just 2 days away, and then of course the traditional spring signing day coming up in February as these players come together here. They have had a couple of practices over the last 2 days. They had a 3-hour practice both on Saturday and on Sunday, and Sheldon, we're going to get a chance to see a lot of good talent here tonight at AT&T Stadium.
Totally agree, Ryan. These kids have put in a good time. They put in some hard work. A lot of flying around at the practices. I had a chance to watch both teams. I think it's going to be an exciting game for these guys tonight. These kids are looking for an opportunity to be noticed by colleges. Some of these guys got some some commitments. Some of these kids are looking for the big game so some colleges can recognize them. So I think we're in for a good game.
You're taking a look at the East team coming out onto the field here at AT&T Stadium. The East is coached by George Teague, former Dallas Cowboy who defended the star for many years at Texas Stadium and has now been the head coach of the East team for the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl for several years. And the gray team will be coming out here in just a minute. That'll be the West squad. This is an East versus West matchup here in this Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. A little bit later on, actually in 2019, there will be another Blue-Gray All-American Bowl here at AT&T Stadium. That'll be another East versus West matchup. And then at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, we'll have our North versus South matchup there in January as well. So a big, exciting month of football for Blue-Gray football and the Impact Football Network, and we're glad to have you along with us. And Sheldon, I know you've had a chance, as always, to be around these two groups of players over the last couple of days as they've practiced and prepared themselves for tonight's game. What can you tell us as a collective group about this group of individuals?
Well, first thing is first, they're talented on both sides of the ball on both teams. This is an evenly matched up game. We're going to see some gunslinging here between like Taj Gregory, a big 6'7" kid out of Capel. He's one of our Texas kids for the West, and then I think he's getting the nod this game. And then for the East, we're going to have Tristan Dillon, who's also a 6'7" quarterback from West Carrollton, Ohio. It's going to be a shootout, I think. And the offensive line, defensive line, these guys have been battling crazily these last 2 games. I think the game is going to be won, like most football games, in the trenches. The team that dominates the line of scrimmage, Ryan, definitely going to be the team that wins tonight.
Yeah, I think you could say that about a lot of games, and certainly that'll be true here tonight with the East versus the West. We'll give you some more information as we pause for the national anthem here at AT&T Stadium. All right, the national anthem here at AT&T Stadium just prior to the kickoff of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. The blue team is the East, and the gray team in the gray uniforms and the blue pants are the West squad. And this should be a good ball game. As Sheldon mentioned to you, we've got a couple of quarterbacks that stand very tall in the pocket. 6'7" Taj Gregory will get the start for Coach Mark McMillan and the West team, and for the East team and Coach George Teague, it'll be 6'7" Tristan Dillon out of Ohio. And so we'll get a chance to see those two quarterbacks to start the ball game. One thing that I always find interesting, Sheldon, and I love this about this particular game, this Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, and I think this is unique. I don't know that there's another recruiting showcase event like this around the country that does this. They put 16 minutes up on those quarter clocks, and that's for the kids. It's an opportunity to get more plays, more reps, more exposure, and so we'll see 16-minute quarters all the way through here tonight, just as an opportunity for these kids to show what they have here on the football field.
And definitely giving more kids a chance to play. And it's not that every kid has to play the same amount of time, but it is when you have the more time for the quarter, it does allow for every kid to get a chance to be seen. And that's what the coaches are trying to do. They want to win. That's the fight that's in Mark McMillan and George Teague. But at the same time, they want to give these kids a chance to play and give everybody a chance to be seen.
So a good crowd has come out tonight for both teams over there on the far side, and the coin toss happening at midfield. And the East will receive. They won the toss and they want the ball first. So there you go.
Good.
George Teague says, we want the football. We believe in our offense. And so it'll be George Teague's team with Dick Bell, the offensive coordinator. Or I'm sorry, the offensive coordinator is George Teague. He's the head coach and the offensive coordinator there for the East team. A lot of people remember George as being a hard-hitting safety for the Cowboys back in the late 90s and early 2000s, but George knows a thing or two about offense as well, and so he'll be the offensive coordinator here tonight for the East team, and they'll have the football first. And we'll get an opportunity, Sheldon, to do what you've been able to do over the last couple of days, and that's see Tristan Dillon, the 6'7" quarterback from Ohio, sling the ball around.
Yes, I think the kid has some good footwork, real quick release. And I had a chance to talk briefly with some of the quarterbacks during practice, just kind of being able to walk around and coach kids in various positions. But I made a mention to him, make sure you get the ball out of his hands. Don't hold on to it tonight. Get the ball out of your hands. Get the ball into these receivers' hands and give these guys a chance to showcase their abilities. Like I said earlier, it should be a barn burner. It should be a shootout tonight.
Well, one of the faster guys on either side, Bobby Holmes, a defensive back out of South Oak Cliff, is one of the deep man on the return here for the East, along with Darntrell Council, 5'9" receiver from North Carolina. And for the West, the kicker tonight, wearing the gray jersey, will be Zach Hoban out of Seton Hall Prep, New Jersey, 6'1", 180-pounder. And he'll approach the ball and send it low and deep, and we're underway. The ball bounces at the 10 and will go out of bounds in front of Bobby Holmes, and so this will be a penalty on the game's first action. Maybe a little bit of nerves right there, Sheldon. This is a game that, you know, we talked about this before coming on air. This is a game that will sometimes feature a lot of Division I commitments and certainly a lot of guys with a lot of Division I looks. That maybe is not the case, at least here tonight. This is a game that a lot of these players need to maybe secure an offer or a commitment at the school that they're looking to go to, and so a lot is maybe riding on this game tonight for a lot of these players.
Definitely the case. A lot of times these kids are playing in conferences and they're playing on teams where everybody's not as good as what they're dealing with these past 2 days. So college scouts want to see what your competition is like. If your competition is good, that says a lot about you, but if your competition is not as good, then that says something else.
Tristan Dillon is going to come under center eye left, and he'll hand the ball off on first down. Deron King behind the left tackle brings the ball up close to the 35.
Tackle by number 24, Hunter Riley out of Liberty High School, California.
So it'll be second down and 5. Good run by King, and early we see the East coming out in an I formation. Sometimes you see the team spread it out. Right there, George Teague showing some old school. Handed the ball off behind the fullback, and now they'll spread it out with a slot right and 2 running backs. And Dillon at 6'7", looks across at a 4-man front, back to throw. And across the middle, a reaching attempt at a catch, incomplete. It'll bring up third down, and that pass was intended for number 1, David Queen out of Northeastern Ohio, just out of his reach. And here comes 3rd and 5.
Good job on number 8, Noah Fuentes out of Clear Falls High School. One of our Texas kids came up there and delivered a good hit. Make sure the ball wasn't completed. Make sure the pass wasn't completed.
So the first down line is the 40. And we will see both teams huddle up quite a bit here tonight. As we mentioned, only 2 practices, so no chance to really institute a no-huddle offense.
No time for that during practice.
Dillon will throw, and now is going to escape the pocket. Throws on the run, ball deflected and incomplete. Good coverage on the play. It was intended right there for Tevin Watkins out of Walsh Jesuit High School in Ohio. And the incompletion will set up 4th down, and the East will punt.
Good job. Number 16, Haley Buckles from Shanley High School out of North Dakota.
And Jawan Price for the West is going to go back and return this punt.
Good snap by the long snapper, Austin Sullivan.
And this will take a bounce back upfield and be killed at around the 40-yard line. Yeah, you were mentioning something about Austin prior to coming on the air. He had a lot to say, it seems like, at practice over the last couple of days.
He did. He had you know how the kickers are. He's working with the kickers and the punters, so they worked hard for the first hour, and they got to chill and hang out the rest of practice. And he always had plenty to say. He seemed like a real good kid, good family. And he's actually committed to Penn State. Long snapping.
Going to play for James Franklin. Bit of a down year in the Big Ten for them, but still a good program, and he's a great coach.
Yeah, they're getting a quality player in Mr. Austin.
And now we get a chance to look at Taj Gregory. He'll turn and hand off on 1st down. And not a lot of running room there for Lucas Wright out of Arizona, trying to sweep up the left end and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by number 26, Jaden Jerkins, Apex High School.
Real good, exciting player. He had a very good practice. I expect to hear his name quite a bit. Real fast. Some of the linemen had a hard time getting his block. So he should be in the play, making the play pretty much all game long while he's in the game.
Gregory will be in the gun. Big 6'7" gunslinger. Back to throw. And out into the right flats, incomplete. Looking for Wright on a check down, and it'll be 3rd down and 10 coming up. And you know, Sheldon, this is the 3rd or 4th Blue-Gray All-American Bowl that you and I have called together, and we see about the same thing just about every year, that the defenses are usually ahead of the offenses, and that's been true through the first 6 snaps of the ball.
Definitely the case.
It's always easier to react to something. It's always more difficult to get the timing down that you need for some of these sweep plays, some of these hitch routes. Things that require timing. 2 days is just not enough. I don't care if it's 6 hours of practice. You just need more time for that.
So here's 3rd and 10 for the West. Gregory in the gun. Here comes the pressure off the edge. Gregory will run it himself, and we'll get to the 45-yard line. He's going to be brought down short of a 1st down. Gregory at 6'7", showing he's not a statue back there in the pocket.
Definitely not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Definitely not afraid to run, Taj Gregory. But number 25 on that tackle, John Cook II, Colgan High School, Virginia. Another linebacker for the East team that's going to probably be in a lot of tackles in this game. These 2 guys have been really good, real aggressive, and fearless as linebackers.
So once again, it'll be Council and Holmes back deep for the punt. It bounces at the 17-yard line. We'll go towards the sideline and out of bounds. So we haven't had a chance to see Bobby Holmes get his hands on the ball just yet. Been told that he's one of the faster guys on either side out of South Oak Cliff High School right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And here comes the 2nd possession for the East team. 13:40 left in the first quarter, and both teams have had a possession and punted the ball away after 3 plays. We'll take a look and see if Coach Teague decided to go with the 2nd quarterback here. And it looks like that perhaps he did. Or is that Dillon? Yeah, that is Dillon again out there for his 2nd series. He's going to turn and pitch the ball to the running back coming right. And a nice job to show some patience, allow the blocking to sort of set itself up there. And the run by Isaac Petway out of Wickliffe, Ohio, looked like he was going to get nothing and turned that into about 6 yards.
Yeah, that play is designed to go wide. It's sort of a stretch play. And I think if Petway would have kept to the outside, where he ended up ultimately, he probably would have got that 1st down. But he's a very good running back. I think we'll have a good game by him today as well.
So second down and about 5. The East from its own 26-yard line. And again, they're coming under center here. They're going to hand it off again, and there's a big hole at a first down and more across the 35 and across the 40. First down for the East once again. I believe it was Petway on the run.
Number 26, Isaac Davis out of Mansfield High School, 6 feet even, 170 pounds.
One of our Texas kids. Good job on making the tackle and ensuring that wasn't a 6 points.
That was a lot of room right at the beginning of that run for Petway. Good job by that offensive line. And it'll be first down for the East from the 42. Dillon again under center. Will hand it off. Petway behind right guard. Stood up pretty immediately. Going to gain a couple here to the 45-yard line. It'll be second down and 8, and a good job of that defensive front for the West.
Now that running back stays behind number 75, that big pulling guard. He has room to run by not staying behind Joshua Williams, a 280-pound, 6'1" guy from Sheridan High School, another one of our Texas kids. He's getting positive yards, so he didn't find the hole on that one.
The East will spread it out here. They'll go with 3 receivers, 2 to the bottom of the screen. And on second and 8, Dillon wants to throw. Here comes some pressure, flips it out left, ball's caught. And a first down the sideline, and Petway again. Petway is racking up some total yardage on this possession, will get into West territory, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Gain of 19 yards on the little check down to the left flats.
Pushed out of bounds by number 26, Isaac Davis. Again, a kid out of Mansfield High School.
Good job, because that would have been 6 if he didn't get there.
And Isaac Petway putting on a show. 5'9", 183-pound running back for the East out of the state of Ohio. They know how to play high school football up there, no doubt about it. And they'll have a first down, will the East. 12-13 left in the opening quarter. Quick handoff, and the West is there. Well done. They get the penetration into the backfield, and they stuff the ball carrier for a loss. That was Petway. Didn't have a lot of room there. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Big number 99 on the tackle, Carson Holloway. Big 6'2", 250 pounds from George Ranch High School right here in Texas.
So that West team is littered with guys here from the state of Texas. We won't see any of those on the East. Yeah, on the West, I should say. Yeah. Here's second and 11. Dillon in the shotgun with 3 receivers. Looking to throw. Pressure off of his right. Plants. Fires deep. Man open.
Himself.
Incomplete.
By himself.
Had a man all alone in the end zone. Going up to try and get 6 was Tevin Watkins out of Ohio. That would have been a Buckeye State connection, but instead it'll be 3rd and 11. And wow, Watkins was all behind the defense, all by himself in the end zone.
That is what you call a breakdown in communication. Coach McWilliams is not happy. McWilliams, he is not happy about that. He is a secondaries coach, and so for somebody to get behind his secondary, he's not excited about that at all.
And if it weren't for the pressure there, I think Dillon would have planted his feet and made a good throw, but
easily.
The pressure forced the incompletion there. And so now 3rd and 11. Dillon back to throw. Pressure again. Steps up. He's hit and sacked. Wow, that front 4 for the West is doing a great job right now, not giving Dillon any time to throw.
You can credit that sack to number 58, Cole Parrott, Columbine High School, Colorado. Big 6'3", 250-pound D lineman. Great job with the pressure, like you said, Ryan. And that's what you got to do to shake these young kids up, is get defenders in their face.
And the East is going to trot out the field goal team and try a 54-yarder. Harrison Leonard, the kicker out of Rhode Island. Avon Old Farms from the left hash. It'll be spotted at the 44. Here's the 54-yard attempt. It has the distance, and it is no good, but not due to a lack of leg, that's for sure.
Right.
Just pushed it to the left, and so the score will remain 0-0 here with 10:33 left. But That's about as impressive as a miss as you can have right there out of Harrison Leonard.
Yeah, you got a little. The coach Teague's got a little confidence in that young man. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him kicking a few more field goal attempts before this game is over.
Well, in the day and age when there is a well-known hashtag college kicker, Harrison Leonard maybe just got on a few people's radar with that kind of a leg.
Yes, sir.
And now the West, after showing a good job to sort of bend a little bit but not break, they finally got some pressure on the quarterback and forced the field goal attempt that was eventually missed by Leonard. Now they'll start on offense. Going right to left across your screen in the gray jerseys. This is the West team on offense. And it looks like Taj Gregory, number 7, back in there. The senior from Coppell, Texas, will be the quarterback once again here for the West. And Coach Mark McMillan, offensive coordinator Kerry Taylor in his first season with Blue-Gray football as an offensive coordinator and an assistant coach. And they're going to run option to the right. Here's the pitch. And good pursuit by the defense to get there quickly. Not much of a gain, might have lost a half of a yard there back to the 35-yard line.
Absolutely no fooling number 53, Joshua Bates, a 6'1", 200-pound linebacker out of Darlington High School in South Carolina. He read that perfectly. He was close enough to be able to play both quarterback and pitch man. Great play on defense.
Talmaj Brown was the one that got the pitch. Gregory back to throw. They go screen right. Brown with a catch and has some blocking in front, but that play did not go quite as far as it looked like it might with the amount of blocking that Brown had going up the numbers. He's only going to gain a couple. Here comes 3rd down and long.
I'm surprised he gained that one, Ryan. Number 78, Nathaniel Caballero from Western Hills High School right here in Texas, kind of got twisted up like as if he didn't even know what the play was. He's got to get out there and just get somebody. He's got someone assigned to him. He's got to block somebody for that play to work.
So here's an obvious passing down. 3rd down and 8. And Gregory looking to throw. Checks it down, left side, ball's caught. Nice inside move up the numbers, but brought down short of a 1st down. Ball was caught by Jawan Price out of Peoria, Arizona, but it's another 4th down for the West, and they will punt again.
Tell you what, that D lineman, number 78, Chandler Austin out of Lowell High School, Indiana, did a great job playing to that screen. Normally, you don't see big guys that get out there that fast, but he sure got the job done out there, making sure and solidifying that 3rd down over. Now it's 4th down, time to punt.
So in to punt it away is Ryan Hansen, punter out of Taylor, Texas. And it's going to be Council back deep. Here's the punt, end over end. Holmes actually will take it. He was the up man. Here comes the return. He's to the 40. He's to the 45 and slung out of bounds. Nice job by Bobby Wolf. Sort of an awkward catch on that punt, but made a good return across the 45-yard line. And here comes the East with good starting field position.
I tell you what, I got to say his name again. Number 78 was in on that tackle. Nathaniel Caballero definitely made it up with one of the fastest kids in the Blue-Gray this year. Big lineman being able to push Bobby Holmes out of bounds. That was a great job.
You know, these are two really good head coaches. Certainly Mark McMillan for the West and George Teague for the East. That was a nice adjustment by the special teams of the East. They put Bobby Holmes sort of closer to the line of scrimmage and gave him an opportunity to return that punt on a short punt.
We can credit that to NFL trainer, NFL veteran, Reggie Young.
Ball came out on that snap on 1st down. Looked like the East was able to recover it, but they're going to lose a couple of yards here as the exchange between the center and the new quarterback, Brandon Odom, went awry, and so it'll be 2nd down and about 11 here. Yeah, special teams coach for the East,
Reggie Young.
That'd be Sean Riley, right, for the East team?
Yeah, they switched it.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
That's
so we
fine.
have that incorrect on our roster.
That.
No, you're all good. Here's the snap on 2nd down, and the West continuing to show their dominance up front. There is nothing good happening for the East in the running game right now. Michael Williams hit before he had the football.
You better stay away from that side. Number 88, Wade Sharp, 6'4", 220 pounds, Newcastle High School, Oklahoma. Couldn't imagine he's excited to be here and wreak havoc on this football field. I don't think they're going to have much success running to him anymore.
Well, this drive has gone backwards for the East. Now they're looking at 3rd down and 17. And they'll put Odom in the shotgun with 3 receivers. You'll see both of these teams run a lot of 2 running back sets just for extra protection on the quarterback. Pass is complete to the near side, back to the original line of scrimmage before the tackle was made by the West. Nate Bryant, I believe that was, on that tackle. And it'll be time for the East to punt again.
Yeah. We can definitely do 3 and try to squeeze in a 4th for sure.
So another punt here coming for the East.
Where is this pen?
And that is Brian Cooey out of New Jersey. Low snap, nearly blocked, but he got away a nice high punt. And this is going to bounce straight up into the air. It'll be killed by the East at the 22-yard line. So that's a nice 39-yard effort by the East. And it'll be 1st down for the West, as the teams have now had 5 total possessions and have 5 punts. Well, 4 punts, I guess we should say. 4 punts and a missed field goal so far.
Oh, I see him. Wetted.
It's going to take a while for these offenses to gel. I think we're going to get a lot of points on the board, but it's just going to take a few minutes for them to fill each other out, fill out this East defense. I think they're going to score on this drive. I feel it in my bones, Ryan.
Let's see what they can do here. A new quarterback into the game, and they're going to hand off on 1st down. Look at this hole. Nice 30, sideline 40, still going 50.
Did I not just call this,
and
Ryan?
This is going to be a touchdown. Isaiah Patrick. No, he's caught from behind. I had to look down and see who it was. It was Patrick on the run, and a good play made defensively to save a touchdown by the East. That was Will Gusmus who caught him from behind, but a great run right there by Isaiah Patrick to get the ball into the red zone.
31 Keegan Simmons.
Told you it's coming, Ryan. They're going to get some points on the board on this
drive. You called
drive.
it, partner. That was on the very first play. Great blocking at the point of attack by the West and the left side of that offensive line. Patrick will be the running back to the left of the new quarterback, Cooper Lega, in the shotgun. And Lega will turn. He'll hand the ball off and get into the corner to the 10. Knocked out of bounds at around the 7 is Marcus Turner.
That one was all. There's probably should have been a penalty on that one, Ryan. There was a receiver blocking in the back on that one that the officials did not see.
So with no score and 6:25 left in the first quarter, this is the first time either team has had the ball in the red zone. It's at the 8-yard line, 2nd down and 3.
Hey, can you
so
hear
they
me?
can get a 1st down to the 5-yard line. We'll join the 3rd member of our crew here in just a moment, Mercedes Owens, who's down on the sideline. She'll be getting interviews for us all night long. Odom's going to throw slant across the middle, and that is incomplete. Broken up nicely on the play by the East. That was Austin Pinkerton in coverage. And the incompletion will set up 3rd down and 3 to go.
Great job isolating, but got to come up with the ball. Good job on the defense, putting his hand in there, making sure he didn't come down with it. But that's what you're going to see, some quick-hitting plays, quick-hitting passes, slants, hitches. I wouldn't be surprised they throw a slant to the right this time.
Well, this is a 4-point play. 3rd down and 3. And they're going to hand it off, and nothing. Stuffed right up the middle. That was Patrick who got the carry. He had the big run to get him into the red zone, but nothing here. And they're not able to get another 1st down after the big run by Patrick. It's 4th down, and now a decision here for the West and Coach Mark McMillan on whether or not they want to maybe try for 3 or try to maybe go for it here deep in East territory.
You notice that last play did a little cross action with the backfield, but the linebacker tackle on that play, 38, Pierce Mellentine out of Terre Haute High School, Indiana, wasn't having anything to do with that. He was right up in there and just put a stop and filled that hole like linebackers are supposed to.
Now look at this, Sheldon. The West will go for it.
There you go. Give these kids a chance to make some plays.
4th down and 5.
Put it in the end zone.
Odom will be in the shotgun. He'll fake the handoff, keep it himself. He'll have the first down. Nice inside move up the numbers.
Good
and Brandon
job.
Odom scores a nifty run on the quarterback keeper on 4th down. And the West has put it in the end zone first with 5:16 left in the opening quarter. The extra point will make it a 7-point game.
Great play by the quarterback. I'm not going to mention the number of the defender on that play, but next time you got to keep his eyes open because he got hurdled on that play.
That was a great run and a great play call, I thought, also by the West and Coach McMillan to run the quarterback on 4th down and 5. And now the extra point is on its way from Zach Hoban, their kicker. It is up and good.
There we go. I promise you I don't know these plays. I didn't know for a fact they were going to score on this, and I just had a feeling.
Well, keep doing those kind of things, and we'll just kind of keep tally all night long on how your percentage kind of falls at the end of the night. So far, you're 1 for 1, partner.
Got to start with that, man.
So 5:16 left here in the first quarter. 7-0 West, and that drive was sparked by the big run by Isaiah Patrick. You were talking to me about him before we came on the air, Sheldon. You seem to like what he can do from the running back position.
Totally. Watched him in practice. Real good, real quick, nifty, strong runner. And again, even the new offensive coordinator, Coach Taylor, has nothing but positive things to say about that young man. And you don't have to just watch him practice. He practiced hard, and that play he ran, and he demonstrated just exactly what he does during practice. He practices and he plays exactly how he practices. So I look for him to get the ball a couple more times before this is over with, before this quarter is over with.
So Hoban will kick it deep. Bobby Holmes and Council waiting back. Darntrell Council out of Southwest Edgecombe in North Carolina, 5'9" receiver. And Bobby Holmes out of South Oak Cliff, a Golden Bear right here in Dallas. Here's the deep end-over-end kickoff, and Holmes is going to bring this out 5 yards deep. He's coming up the numbers to the 10 and lowers his shoulder, gets to the 20. And that was right there, Sheldon, maybe something you wouldn't do if this was a regular season high school football game. Probably certainly not if it was a playoff game, but in a game where you have limited opportunities to show what you can do with the ball in your hands, I like the decision there from Bobby Holmes to bring the ball out and try to make a play.
Totally. You don't have it. There's no loss to this. Even if you don't win at the end of the game, it's important to go out there and give it all. Give it everything you got. That's what coaches in the next level want to see. We want to see athleticism. On the stop, though, good job by Nate Bryant out of Stigler High School,
I'm
Oklahoma.
Doing interviews on the sidelines. Can I grab you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you can grab
so
water
the
or whatever.
next possession for the East will start at the 20, and they'll hand off on first down right up the middle. And a nice carry up to around the 25-yard line.
Hey, guys, I have Matthew Wettig.
Now we're going to take this opportunity to go down to the sideline here in just a moment. Mercedes Owens, the third member of our crew,
Is this going to be on like the live
be
stream
with
or-
a player from the
so
east
you're from
side
Wisconsin.
over
Yeah.
here on
You're
the near
going
sideline.
to
Illinois State.
Illinois State, nice. Did you ever think you'd be playing at AT&T
We'll get to
Stadium?
that after
No.
this
I've
play
been here
is
before,
over.
like, one time, but I never
Second
thought
down
it'd
and
be-
6 for the
that's for
East.
sure.
Yeah, okay.
And
so
their
our camera's
quarterback
up there.
is Brandon
You
Odom.
don't have to worry about it. You're just going to talk to me.
Okay.
So don't
There's
even
a
look at it.
pass
You always
deflected
look weird when you
and
do.
incomplete.
So we'll just talk for a second, but we're just
I
going to
want
talk
to
about
make
the
a
Blue
correction
Gray
here.
experience,
Cooper
okay?
Lega was
And then I'll ask you
the
about Illinois
quarterback
State.
Okay.
for the West.
We are
who
ready
scored
when you
that
are.
last touchdown. Let's go down to Mercedes.
Hey guys, I've got Matthew Wettig down here. He's all the way from Wisconsin. Talk about playing at AT&T Stadium right now.
It's crazy. The big lights kind of got a little nervous at first, but it's all right. You settle in, and it's a lot of fun. So
That's totally normal. And you guys only have 2 days to work together. What's that process like?
it was kind of hard at first, but it was really fun. I got to meet a lot of new friends, and we meshed quickly, so it was a lot of fun.
Well, you're going to have more experience with meeting some new teammates pretty soon here. You're headed to
Illinois State next year, so that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully go win a national championship.
Nice play.
So, yeah, that'll be fun.
Definitely. Well, best of luck to you, Matthew. Thanks so much for chatting with us.
Thank you. I
All right, back to
appreciate
you guys.
Thanks, Mercedes. And while we were down there on the sideline with you, Brandon Odom just turned in the play of the game in all kinds of trouble, looking like he was going to go down and be sacked. Somehow got the ball out and got it complete to Adrian Adams for a first down. What a play made by the quarterback, Brandon Odom.
What a play indeed. I think number 77, Brandon Laird, wish he has that sack back in his hands. He was hurting himself, getting upset for not getting that sack in.
It was an incredible play by Odom. And he'll come under center on first down from the 38-yard line. He'll turn, he'll hand it off. And behind the left tackle, up close to around the 40-yard line.
Not only did he get upset with that last play, but he made it up for this play. Number 77, Brandon Laird, again, Scurry Rosser High School out of Texas, definitely made it up for that first one. Taking on the block and making that tackle. Great job for that D lineman.
So gain of 2 there for the East. 7-0 West leading, 3:15 remaining here in the first quarter, the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Thanks for watching the Impact Football Network and our coverage here tonight from AT&T Stadium. Odom will be under center. He'll turn, he'll pitch the ball, and coming to the right to the 40. Nice inside move to the 45 and delivers the hit at the end of the run. Keegan Simmons out of Prairie, Iowa, with a nice hard run and gets a first down for the East.
Number 50, Cameron Robinson out of Wyandotte High School, Oklahoma, on the hit, on the tackle. You can't play that any better on defense right there. Number 95 really pushed the ball up, pushed the edge up. Carson Fugelberg out of Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Odom will be in the shotgun, looking to throw here on first down. Pressure again, escapes the pocket. He's done very good at this. And this time will be brought down near the near sideline. Loses about half of a yard there, and good pursuit once again from the West and their front four.
Fugelberg and Robinson again on that play. Good job on those guys, making sure that quarterback didn't get loose, because it looked like he was ready to take off.
So second down and about 11. The East will huddle up. Brandon Odom is their quarterback right now from Taylorville, Illinois. 6'1", 190-pounder. And the 2 running backs in the backfield with him. Keegan Simmons, one of those. And the hard snap count, look at that. But a penalty flag comes in from the back judge. That'll be a delay of game. And that might have been the defensive end for the West, just sort of anticipating them having to snap the ball. And much to his surprise, the East did not snap the ball, and that leads to a delay of game penalty. So they'll have to back up 5 yards.
But it's a delay of game penalty on the offense.
Yeah. Yeah, the play clock wound down. And
to say, I bet it couldn't have been a penalty on the defense. You got a chance to get back and get reset on defense as long as you don't make contact, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So it'll be 2nd and 16. A bit of a mental lapse there from the East offensively. Number 1, letting the play clock wind down, but secondly, not snapping the ball with the West player in the neutral zone. And now 2nd and 16. Here's the handoff, not much. Good play made up front once again by the West. And the carry by Simmons goes for next to nothing. Here comes 3rd down.
Great job, number 95. Again, if they're not going to block you, what do? You make the tackle. So that was good. Carson Fugelberg again on the play.
So big 3rd down and 15 here. East trailing by a touchdown. We're nearing the end of the first quarter. And Odom will throw. Quick screen left side pass is caught into West territory to the 45-yard line, but that'll be short of the necessary yardage for a first down. It will bring up 4th and a couple here.
Credit number 35, Carson Stokes, Northridge High School out of Utah on the tackle.
So what do you do here now if you're the East? Coach George Teague, your team down by a touchdown. You've got 4th down and about 3 to go.
He's going for it, it looks like.
Yes, he is. They'll leave the punting team on the sideline, but they will not get the playoff before the end of the first quarter. We're at AT&T Stadium. This is the Impact Football Network, our coverage of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. And at the end of the first quarter, it's the West 7 and the East nothing, as they got a touchdown run from quarterback Cooper Lega on a 4th down play, actually, deep in East territory. after they were set up nicely in the red zone on a big run from their running back, Isaiah Patrick. And really, other than that drive, it's been mostly punts. There's been one missed field goal attempt by the East. And we're getting ready for what should be a big play to start the second quarter. It'll be 4th down and 3. And unless there's a change of heart here from the Blue head coach, George Teague, the East team's head coach, I'm imagining they're going to go for it here and try to pick up the necessary 3 yards.
Got to, and I would throw it down the field, to be honest with you, Ryan. The running game has sputtered a little bit for the East. I would take a chance to put the ball in the air, but that's just me.
And you know, one thing that Brandon Odom has shown back there while he's been in the game so far is the ability to improvise in the pocket. He's had to do a lot of that as he's been under heavy pressure. And he's done a nice job of escaping that pressure and making some positive plays for the East. Let's see what they dial up here on 4th down.
I know it's a little early and I shouldn't jump to this, but I played with a quarterback he reminds me of when I was in Buffalo. He reminds me of Doug Flutie, improvising, kind of a field general. And I remember back in the day, he was a phenomenal guy to play with too. Threw me my first touchdown pass in the league, so I'm going to give Doug Flutie a shot at.
Yeah, that's certainly enough to make him a friend, I would think.
Certainly.
So here comes 4th down. Under center is Odom. He'll snap it. He'll hand it off. Simmons up the middle will have a 1st down. That's great blocking to give Simmons the room to run for the 1st down. And Coach George Teague is very pleased. He's out nearly at the numbers, congratulating his team on what was a very nice play run on 4th down. So they will move it inside the 35-yard line. Just underway in the second quarter. The East with the ball trailing 7-0.
Good to see you. I gotta grab this big old boy. Matthew Bedford.
Odom will be in the shotgun.
79.
And is going to throw it quickly. Ball's caught by Adams trying to reverse field and turn what was going to be a negative play into something positive. I think he did get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it. 2nd down coming up. Ball was caught there by Adams. Adrian Adams out of Cooper, Minnesota. Long way from Minnesota. A little bit cooler weather here, I would suppose.
Not sure what he was thinking on that one. The sidelines where you want to go on a screen like that, but credit 55, Shane Pivito, Timpson High School out of Texas as well. Good job on the play.
And it looks like here that Simmons will be the lone setback, and some miscommunication again, I think, between Odom and the center on the snap. Sort of a busted play there. And the quarterback ends up being tackled for no gain, Odom. And so it'll be 3rd down here and about 9 to go.
Good job, number 58, Cole Parrott from Columbine High School, Colorado, picking up and making that tackle for loss, right? About a yard loss?
That did look like a little bit of a loss there, and so it'll be 3rd down. It's the 2nd time that the East have struggled with the snap when the quarterback has been under center. Odom will be in the shotgun here, though, on 3rd down and 8, pumping to the flats. Now has to run it himself, has some room up the middle, and has a 1st down and more. Outside move to the 20, and Odom will be spun down inside the 10-yard line. Brandon Odom with an electrifying run. It'll be 1st and goal for the East, trying to tie the game. And that is that running ability that we talked about out of Brandon Odom. He's 6'1", 190 pounds, but he is mobile and able to get a 1st down opportunity, goal to go here for the East as they try to square the game here in the second quarter.
2400 Riley on that tackle. I'm surprised they don't have anybody spying that quarterback.
Simmons will get the handoff, brushes off one would-be tackler, gets to the 5, and finally brought down at around the 4. Look at the run by Keegan Simmons, showing some good toughness.
Great job. I understand what these defensive guys are doing. This is not making the West. This is not helping the West out in any way, letting these running backs just run through their tackles. This is not what colleges want to see. They got to do a better job on the outside making tackles.
And collectively, for the most part, the West has done a nice job stopping the run, but on the last couple of plays, the East has been able to bust free, and they'll have 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line here.
They did some substitutions. They found the East has definitely found a chink in their armor, but the West has subbed out sufficiently. We'll see what they do up front now.
Simmons will get the carry right at the middle, and he's going to be bear hugged at the 3 and dropped. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Brandon Laird, number 77, coming out of Texas, Scurry Rosser High School.
Sheldon taking a look down there. He is one of the bigger guys on the football field on either side.
Most certainly. We're talking a 6'3", 278-pound D lineman. So it will take two guys at times to block him.
Well, let's see what George Teague wants to do here. The offensive coordinator and the play caller, you've got a 3rd and goal at the 2.
Off tackle to the left.
Quarterback under center, handoff right
No
up the
way.
middle, touchdown.
No way.
Right up the middle,
how did
in
I
for the
call-
score, Jesse Deglow.
I thought I called that one too.
2 for 2, I guess.
Wow. Off tackle to the left.
And the East is an extra point away from squaring the game with under 12 to go in the 2nd quarter.
That is
was
good.
old-fashioned pound the rock.
Exactly, sir. When in doubt, off tackle. When in doubt, off tackle.
So in for the extra point, Harrison Leonard, whose leg we saw earlier on a missed field goal, 54-yarder, but it had plenty of distance. And this time he pumps the extra point up and in. So we're tied at 7, both teams with long touchdown drives. The big play right there was the Brandon Odom run that got him inside the 10.
And I didn't get the numbers of those that left guard, left tackle, but my goodness, they definitely took care of business. We talked a little bit about them earlier, but the East and their running game, but they're hitting on all cylinders now because that was bread and butter right there. Off tackle to the left, no one to get in the way. The running back pretty much gets in the end zone with untouched. So that's exactly how it's supposed to get done right there.
Well, it's a busy time of the year for the college football coaches around the country. Obviously, most of them are preparing for bowl games, and all of them are focusing right now, Sheldon, on recruiting, with National Signing Day being this Wednesday, the early signing period, and then the more traditional signing day coming in February. And, you know, as always, Sheldon, it's the SEC dominating the recruiting rankings. If you look at the top 25, 11 of those top 25 teams are in the SEC. Here's Leonard with a big kick deep and out the back of the end zone for a touchback.
You know, I'm a product of the. I've been out of football long enough, college football. I actually played in the Big 8, okay? And then I played in the first couple years of the Big 12. And right now, it just seems like more and more kids want to go to the SEC. They want to play in those schools. They want to play for those coaches. They believe that's where the best competition is. Those are the kids who get drafted the most, apparently. So that's where the kids want to go.
Yeah, you're right about that. For whatever reason, that is the prevailing thought, and I'm sure there's some statistics to back that up as well. But you take a look at that top 5. Alabama's at number 1, Texas A&M number 2, Georgia is 3. So your top 3 are all SEC, and then Clemson at 4 and Michigan at 5.
Okay, so.
And here's the West back to work offensively. And a running quarterback will bring it across the 30, up close to the 35-yard line. That is Cooper Lega again, who had the touchdown run to give West its only points of the game. Nice carry here for about 9.5.
Quite a few guys got a hit on him, but definitely a guy number 62, Braden Koopza, Rose Hill Christian High School in Texas, was the one that finally got him to the ground.
Yeah. You want to take your helmet off?
So
it's going to be on the live stream and
second
everything,
down
so
and
your
about
family wants
1.
to see your face.
And Lega will be in the shotgun here.
That's like the opposite of what they're supposed to.
And here's a handoff and not much. East got there in a hurry, and the ball carrier is buried in the backfield.
Credit that tackle, number 91, Isaiah Brown Dietzman. This guy was very impressive at practice. Big, powerful, kind of an unrelenting motor. If he can just keep his technique low, stay low to the ground, he should be making plays every time they bring the ball to his side.
Okay, well, we're ready when you are.
After this next play, we'll be going down to the sideline for Mercedes Owens. She's with Matthew Bedford of the East team.
How's Memphis? You
Here's
love
the
it?
snap. Lega looking to
There he
throw.
is again.
To
There
the
he is
flats,
again.
off the edge.
Oh!
And a nice job by Lega to escape the pressure. Throws the ball out right, and it's caught for a first down A huge conversion there by the West as Lega escaped trouble and was able to pick up the first down on the reception. And that will move the chains. We'll go downstairs now to Mercedes Owens, who is with Matthew Bedford.
Hey guys, Matthew's down here, and I mean, let's talk about that first quarter. Not what we wanted, but look where we are now. Things are looking up.
Yeah, we're marching for real. You know, the O-line, we got chemistry. You know what I'm saying? We just getting on the sidelines, talking to our coach. You know, going at it. You know, it's just a grind. It's just a grind.
And talking about that coaching, what was your biggest takeaway past the past 2 days? It's been a grind to get to where we are now, but what was your biggest takeaway heading into tonight's game?
Absolutely. Just our O-line coach worked with us with technique a lot. You know, just having us work with technique, working with our hands, working with our sets. You know, just preparing for the night. Main thing was communication. Communicating. If you communicate, the O-line works, then the rest of the offense falls in line, and then that's how touchdowns happen.
Communication. It's amazing how that works, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so graduation's coming up, and then you're headed to Indiana. What made your decision there?
Well, Indiana, the relationships were there. The talking with the coaches, talking with the teammates. You know, those guys, they have a program that's growing, up and coming. You know, every team that they played on the Ohio State, Penn, you know, those games were real close at the end. So just a couple players away, a couple of guys from being actually real successful next year. So I'm willing to throw my money in there and be able to contribute so that we can grow. So
you'll be a part of that success, and we're going to be watching out for you. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good luck, Matthew. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mercedes.
Thank you.
And after that great conversion from Cooper Lega on the pass on third down, the next
They
three
cannot
plays for the
stand
West
still.
goes nowhere, so they have to
They
punt.
cannot stand still.
And East will have the ball back starting at their own 23-yard line, just over 10 minutes left
Okay.
here in the first half.
Part of that bad play came from the
Hey,
pressure
what?
again from that number 91, Isaiah Brown Deesman again.
Yeah, they're young. They don't get it yet.
So here comes the East, and at quarterback will be Tristan Dillon once again, who started the game. Big 6'7" kid from West Carrollton, Ohio, comes under center on first down and will run a play fake looking to throw, and he's going to go deep over the left side, and it's incomplete and nearly intercepted. Thrown into some double coverage there, and the East will be happy to see 2nd and 10.
Most definitely. That defensive back, if he gets his head around just a little quicker, he's definitely picking off that ball and running it back into the end zone.
The ball came out a little wobbly there from Dillon, so I'm not sure if he had a good feel for it as he let it rip. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Ryan, I think he may have heard some footsteps because there was some heat coming his way.
We know earlier that Dillon had an open man in the end zone, but just missed him because of some pressure as he was hit while he threw. Under center here, he'll turn, he'll pitch the ball coming left.
Nice rush.
And good pursuit. They'll string the play along and knock the ball carrier out of bounds short of the 25-yard line. That was Sam Stickley with his first carry of the game out of Hopewell, Ohio. And a gain of just 1 brings up 3rd down and 9 here for the East. We're knotted at 7 with 9:40 left here in the second quarter at AT&T Stadium.
I say Roach got to do a good job, got to do a better job keeping that out, keeping that edge. Number 28, Brandon Bolden, is a 6'3", 195-pound corner out of Olathe, West Kansas. Good job getting the ball carried out of bounds. He's been very impressive at practice as well. Real tall for a corner.
Dillon wants to throw on 3rd down. Across the middle, ball's caught for a first down across the 35-yard line. Good throw there to Tevin Watkins on a drag pattern, and the East will move the chains.
Tackled by number 47, Kelton Dominic out of Norman North High School, Oklahoma.
You know, Sheldon, that's the second time that I've seen the quarterback Dillon have an opportunity to run the ball and then decides to throw it just before he crosses the line of scrimmage. You can tell that he's done some good studying and has a good head on his shoulders, knows where he wants to go with the ball.
Most certainly. That's intelligence right there, some wisdom. If you don't have to take a hit, don't, especially as a quarterback.
He's going to throw to the left side. Pass is caught. And on a screen play over here on the near side, up the numbers comes the receiver. That is Taylor Robinson out of Ohio, and he's going to gain about 5 up to the 41-yard line.
Tackle by number 26, Isaac Davis. Again, one of our Mansfield High School kids in on the play. He's cracking up some tackles today. He's doing a good job.
The Mansfield ISD here in the Metroplex is very well known for some high-quality football programs. Lakeridge has been very good, and Mansfield High has been very good over the last half-decade or so. Here's a pitch. Petway trying to get outside the numbers. Cuts it up the field and has a first down across the 45. Isaac Petway is back in the game and reeling off some more yardage here for the East. It'll be first down for Coach Teague's team.
Got to give a quick shout out to number 71, Dalton Schmidt, on that last play. It's a big O-lineman, 6'5", 280 pounds, from Fort Dodge High School, Iowa. Did a real good job pulling out and getting in front of that defensive end. Without his block, Petway is still in the backfield, so that was a good job of the lineman.
Dillon will be in the gun. Petway is to his left and wanting to throw. Across the middle, ball's caught, running free inside the 40, and a nice catch made on another drag pattern. That's Darntrell Council, his first catch of the game. We've seen him in the return game. This time as a receiver, he makes a nice catch for an East first down.
Tackled by 28, Brendan Bolden again. A very active player. He's not scared. He's got great courage, good feet. Again, very tall for a corner. That's not common, but he's prototypical for Division I. He might, don't be surprised if he shows up somewhere.
You know, that's sort of been the model lately of your, your ideal cornerback. You think about Byron Jones for the Cowboys, bit of a taller player, and has the versatility to play a safety spot if necessary.
Did you see he just came up and delivered a blow, so he's not afraid of contact either.
It was Sam Stickley who got the carry for the East, and he was hit hard after a gain of about 4.
Now, we talked about Petway with his running abilities, but this last play, he was the one that freed that running play. Good block. If he didn't get his block again, that's going to be a loss for about 4 or 5 yards. So it's a good job. Petway showing that he can run the ball, and he's a team player showing that he can also be the lead blocker.
Council is going to be in single coverage to the top of your screen here on 2nd and 6. And they're going to hand off to Petway.
Who fumbles?
And the ball is out. The West believes they have it, and it looks like they do. A turnover here. The West has it. Petway coughed it up, and the West recovers it at around the 30-yard line.
Didn't get a look. He made a good cut upfield, smart cut upfield to get more yards. But it didn't hold on to the ball in traffic. Didn't put 2 hands on it. What you're supposed to do is what they teach you back in Pop Warner. When you go in traffic, cover the ball with both hands.
I want to go back to what you were talking about Petway before that fumble there. And blocking in a game like this. I'm sure that's not the glamorous assignment to block for a teammate, but that says a lot about Petway that he'd be willing to do that and do it so well. There's a handoff on first down for the West. And that is Isaiah Patrick, who is upended just across the 30.
By number 45, Michael Henderson, Madison Prep High School, Louisiana. Yeah, you're right. That's not a glamorous position. Most guys, especially you got these brand new kids from all over, you want to block for anybody, you want the ball. But again, he's a team player. He's trying to get recognized for his ability on the field, and that includes blocking as well as running the ball.
And here's an end-around play, a little trick play from the West. I guess sometime within the 6-hour allotted time for practice over the last 2 days, Mark McMillan put something like that in, and it ends up being number 81, I believe, one of their tight ends.
Gabriel Sanye. I know him. I talked to him a lot. He was telling me about the school. He was hoping that they'd run some tight end reverses when he got to college, and here is his chance to showcase his abilities.
From Lumberton, Texas. Got his hands on the ball and got a first down for the West. 5:30 left in the first half. And here's a throw out into the left flats, ball deflected and incomplete. Looking for Patrick. This is Nathan Clayton, who we're seeing at quarterback for the first time for the West team out of Tempe, Arizona. 6'5", 215-pound quarterback.
Last play covered really good by Sean Truhe, number 52, 600 pound, 215, Lee Heighton High School, Pennsylvania.
Okay, so the camera's up there. You don't have to look at it, but
So here comes
'cause it's gonna
second
be
down
real
and 10.
close. It looks far away, but
And
it's gonna
Clayton
be like waist up.
will run a
So we
delayed
want you to stay
draw to
squared
the
off so
running
we can
back
see
to
your
his
number and
right.
everything, and then I'll
Not
like, lean
much
in
of
and
a
talk
gain
to
here,
you,
maybe
okay?
a
That
couple
way we can see you.
from
I
the
don't wanna try to.
running back. I believe that was Marcus Turner who got the carry. Gain of 2.
Okay,
Third down and
so
8 is
you
coming
grew up
up.
with, what's his name?
Will Savala.
Will Savala.
Let's go ahead and credit
Will
number
Savala.
78,
Okay.
Chandler Ossian from Lowell
I'm gonna
High
talk about
School
it.
with that tackle.
Let me let him know. Oh, okay.
And it'll be third down and 8. Clayton in the gun. Obvious passing situation. He's back to throw. Clean pocket out to the left. That ball's caught,
He almost
but
had
not
Bobby
much of a
Holmes, but he had to
gain.
go
Good
in.
coverage down the field by the East. Forced the check down.
When he comes
And the
back
catch
out,
made by Turner, but tackled immediately, well short of a first down. And a penalty flag is down in the backfield. It looks like this is going to be against the West, and that's going to be declined. And so it'll be fourth down.
It looks like they're trying to challenge and test number 52, but he's showing himself to be proficient, knows how to play the game. Sean Truhe, again, out of Pennsylvania, has definitely handled his business and stood his ground.
So it's time for the West to punt. Bobby Holmes is out there along with Darntrell Council. Holmes is the guy standing at about the 35-yard line, and Council is about 25 yards behind him. Here's the punt, very high, and Council backing up from the 7 has a chance to return. Will come left outside the numbers, he's up to the 20, and slipping out of a tackle down to the 30, and
He's
look
gone.
at Council down the sideline to the 30, shed a couple of tackles, and he'll go 93 yards. Darntrell Council, touchdown.
I know some of those guys walking back to the sideline are not happy with their effort on that play right there.
And give Council some credit. He did not give up on the play, even when he was looked like going to be tackled by 2 guys from the West. Council just kept going, finally busted free, and once he did that, it was church the rest of the way. 93 yards on the punt return for the touchdown, and the East is taking the lead for the first time.
That is kind of what you call textbook ball running. He did not stop moving his legs. A lot of times kids just get into the collision, they stop moving their feet, but that's not what Council did. Get his legs moving, old Roger Craig style. Even though he took on some hits, he was able to keep his body moving forward. 93 yards later.
93 yards
6
on
points.
that return.
6 points, good job.
That was a great punt, too, by the West right there. And the punter for the West has done a great job all night long. That's Ryan Hansen out of Taylor, Texas, but that might have been a case, Sheldon, of punting it outside the realm of your coverage.
Yeah.
The extra point there is good. And
right. Out-kicking your coverage. You know, I wouldn't say that because there was a gunner that was within 10 yards that could have affected that ball carrier just a little bit. But he didn't break down like you teach, and that's kind of what happens when you don't break down and keep the ball carrier in front of you. So kind of sort of what you said about out-kicking your coverage, yes, but there was a man within tackling range and who could have made that tackle.
So the East will kick off after the 93-yard punt return touchdown by Darntrell Council to give East the lead. 4:02 left here in the opening half. And don't look now, Sheldon Jackson, but the East team has scored 14 unanswered.
Usually it takes a while for the offenses to start to gel, is what we say. Chemistry is another word you hear when it comes to getting an offense together. But I knew it was going to happen. There's too much talent out there for them not to put points on the board.
So here comes the kickoff.
It's coming out.
Yeah, will be returned from the 2-yard line right up the middle. Look at the speed to the 30, and this is a big return with one guy to beat, spins out of a tackle, and this might be the answer that the West needed. 98 yards for a kickoff return touchdown for the West.
That is the answer, Ryan.
And all the way down for the score is Jawan Price, the running back out of Peoria, Arizona. Got all the way to midfield before he was even touched, and then spun out of a tackle and went the rest of the way, 98 yards for the score.
It's crazy because that's a great play for Mr. Price there. Definitely maybe helped him out with some radar for some college scouts and college coaches. But on the flip side, just not good for that kickoff team. That is not what you want to do. If you're going to be on the kickoff team, you get one play to prove that you're worthy. And if you can't do it, then I guess you're just not ready.
And Sheldon, talk to us about over the course of a 2-day practice schedule. You've got 6 total hours on the practice field. How much of that time is spent on special teams and on kickoff coverage?
In games like this, with this amount of talent, these all-star scenarios, it's the last 15, 20, 30 minutes of practice across the board. If they get 30 minutes of it, you got to squeeze in the kickoff return, the punt return, the field goal block within that 30-minute time frame. And it's just so
So you're
hard.
talking about 1, maybe 2 reps each for each of those 6 units. That's not a lot of time to prepare, obviously. And
Definitely.
and a lot of these players are really just having to play more off of instinct, and
yeah,
you
but
can kind of see that transpire over the last 2 returns.
And totally, that's what you want to see. You know that there's going to be some big plays in the special teams because it takes a lot of time. I'm a special teams coach at my school, and I get to spend 45 minutes to an hour teaching special teams. So when you just have a 30-minute window to go over everything, it is very difficult to promote that chemistry and to jive together, so to speak. So it happens.
So 3:47 left in the first half. The West have tied the game 14-14. And they will now kick it deep to Darntrell Council, who just had a 93-yard punt return for a touchdown. And Bobby Holmes, who we've been telling you all night is one of the faster guys on either team. And the kicker, Harrison Leonard, for the West just says, forget it. I'm going to kick it out the back of the end zone, and nobody will return this kickoff.
Smart kick.
What a weapon that is whenever a team has that at its disposal to basically make the kickoff, well, just a rather uninteresting play in football. And that's exactly what the West have here tonight.
It's a potent weapon if the returners are lethal returners. If you can keep the ball out of those guys' hands, that's just as good as a good defensive play.
So a great job there by Zach Hoban, eliminating the kickoff return. And now the East will go to work again. Tristan Dillon, the shotgun quarterback. Press coverage on the outside from the West, and here's a handoff on first down. The East will not get much. Jesse Deglow with the carry and gained maybe a yard. It'll be second down, and Mercedes Owens is down on the field with Bobby Holmes.
Yep, I've got Bobby Holmes down here, and he is still out of breath, working hard or hardly working out there.
Good, trying to stay consistent. Defense getting these stops, 3 and outs.
Well, things have really picked up. Are you having fun, or what do you say about AT&T Stadium? What's this experience like?
Yes, ma'am. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience to come and play in the NFL facility, see what it's like. You know, as a kid, you dream of playing in the NFL. So just to play on the field that the NFL players get to play on.
And being a little more specific, he's not just a kid. You're a kid from Dallas. What do you go back to school tomorrow and tell everyone what you're doing tonight?
Yes, ma'am. I'll go home and brag on this one. You know, a lot of kids don't get to play in the NFL facility. Like I said, growing up, it's a childhood dream.
Awesome. Well, good luck out there, Bobby, and we'll keep a lookout for you in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Mercedes. South Oak Cliff had a good football season here in the Metroplex. They were undefeated in the regular season. Eventually lost to Frisco Reedy in the football playoffs. And here is Dillon back to pass, and he is dropped back at the 30-yard line, sacked again.
By number 99, Carson Holloway from George Ranch High School, one of our Texas kids.
Well, the West has been relentless with this particular group in the game at getting pressure on the quarterback and stopping the run. And you know, you can do those two things, Sheldon, you're going to be a pretty darn good defense.
You are so right. We didn't get to mention it before, but they've been getting the West has been getting a real good push on the left side of that offensive line right now. Consecutively, plays in a row here. they've been getting the push up into the backfield. It's causing all kind of problems for the East offense right now.
So the loss of 8 brings up 2nd and 18, and Dillon back to throw deep out to the right, incomplete.
But you see what the offense did, the East did to fight against that. They sprinted out to the right, giving those left guard, left tackle enough time to stay with their guys and giving that quarterback a little bit of time to deliver a pass. So that was smart play calling by George Teague there.
Ryan Schmidt was the intended receiver there for the East. So it will be 3rd down and 18 now. And Tristan Dillon, we're not keeping statistics, but the completion percentage is not probably where he's accustomed to having it being. He'll go back to throw here, has a man open across the middle. Schmidt, a diving catch into West territory. Ryan Schmidt with the grab on the back end. Pretty well thrown ball there by Dillon. And the East get a big conversion, Sheldon. That was a 3rd and 18, and Dillon found his man across the middle.
Yeah. It's one of those bend and don't break defenses by the West. Coach McMillan is doing a good job, just making sure they don't give up any big plays. But when you play that type of defense, you open up some cavities underneath. So it's a bend and don't break mentality over there in that secondary. But we'll see if the East team can break it up.
So right here, Dillon. Play fake, pressure off his backside, throws it high for Schmidt, incomplete. And some good pressure provided there by the West to get to the quarterback and make that throw a bit quicker than Dillon may have wanted. It'll be 2nd and 10. 1:13 left here in the first half, and both teams have all 3 timeouts left. A 14-14 tie here at AT&T Stadium, and a good first half on both sides.
We talked about pressure all half, and that was pressure put on by number 50, Cameron Robinson out of Wyandotte High School, Texas. Unblocked, and that's what you're supposed to do. That wasn't a blitz. No one came out to block him, so he did the only thing he was supposed to do, and that's pursue the ball carrier.
So here's 2nd and 10. Dillon turns and pitches the ball. And a nice run here. Jesse Deglow. Penalty flag comes in at the end of the run. Deglow got about 8 yards there, but that's pending a penalty flag that's laying at about the 38-yard line.
I hope it's not holding, because I want to give praise to this lineman right here for blocking that same Robinson kid and getting a pancake. Jacob Gates, our left tackle from Ragsdale High School, North Carolina. I like to give linemen hypes when they do it, get them hyped up and get some words out for these guys, especially when they're eating a lot and putting pancakes out there on the field.
And it is holding against the East, so that'll move the ball back to the West 48-yard line. Tough penalty there, because it not only moves them back, but it also negates what would have been a 9-yard carry there for Jesse Deglow.
Yeah, it's probably the same guy I was talking about, but I thought he did a good job with the block. But we'll see.
Now Dillon will come under center, eye left, and a slot on the left. That's Ryan Schmidt, who's been one of his favorite targets on this drive. And the handoff right at the middle to Michael Williams out of Ohio. And Williams will not get far. Gains maybe a yard, and 3rd down is coming. We're very near the end of the second quarter, 33 seconds. Neither team really interested in taking timeouts to stop the clock. They've got 3 timeouts. They're just going to hurry to the line of scrimmage here. 3rd down and 14, 20 seconds left.
Got to mention the first person made contact on that last play, number 55, Shane Peavito.
And now a timeout's going to be called by the West, but not to stop the clock, but to avoid a 12 men on the field penalty, as they were trying to get one of their linebackers off. And so a timeout has to be called by Mark McMillan in the West with 15 seconds left here in the second quarter. At AT&T Stadium, it's the West 14 and the East 14 here in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl.
Ryan, what do? When you got the ball where you have it was that on the 47, 15 seconds left in the half. If you're the East, you make a shot for the end zone, or you just get out of the half unscathed and peacefully?
I have to be very honest. I've been very confused with the clock management from George Teague late in the second quarter. They've had the ability to stop the clock. They have 3 timeouts, but have not chosen to use any of those. If it were me, I'm trying to get a completion. Maybe try to set up for a last-second field goal here if I can. With 3 timeouts, you can throw the ball to the middle of the field if you need to. Well, let's see what they do here on 3rd down and 14. Low snap. Dillon picks it up off the turf. Back to throw. Pressure, hit, sacked. Sacked again. Dillon goes down from behind. And the clock is going to wind down and expire here in the second quarter at AT&T Stadium.
Getting that tackle, number 45, Kagan Roach out of Salina, Texas. He's been very impressive at practice. A very active player, very big, very powerful young man. Good job overtaking that blocker and getting that tackle before the half's over.
Well, just before the second quarter clock winds all the way down, an injured player is down on the field. So that stops the clock with 1 second. And the training staff and the blue-gray football staff out to look at him. That's certainly not anything that we want to see have happen in a game like this. It's Tristan Dillon, the quarterback for the East, who is now on his feet. He's coming back towards the near side bench, but is being helped and looks to be in some considerable pain as he comes over here towards the near sideline.
Looks like he's putting a little bit more pressure on it. We hope that's not a bad thing. Looks like that's the half.
Yeah, so they'll call that the half. And so we'll keep an eye on Tristan Dillon and what his situation is going into the second half of play. Good game going here at AT&T Stadium. West 14, East 14 in this 2018 version of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl here tonight at AT&T Stadium. Sheldon and I will take a break. We'll be back with you to start the third quarter here on the Impact Football Network.
We are ready. Hey guys, I've got head coach of the East team, George T, down here. Talk about that second quarter. A little slow in the first, but if the second is any indication of what's going to happen in the second half, I think we're going to have some fun.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the guys. I think we were struck by the lights a little bit in the beginning. They kind of settled in, got the groove, really started executing. So I'm looking forward to making a few adjustments and having a great second half.
And apart from who wins, who loses, what is your message or what do you hope these guys leave with after this experience?
I started talking about it when we first had our first practice about, one, they get an opportunity to have new friendships that they might not have before. They get to have a little bit of fun, but they also get a chance to be the guy that can come out here, make a play, and maybe grab a bigger scholarship or a different opportunity they haven't had. And then in the end, hopefully they get one of these rings as well.
Hey, that's a pretty nice message, but I don't think you're going to be that nice when you head back into locker room right now.
No, it didn't work like that. We'll go back in, but I am excited about. We've had some big plays. We're able to move the ball, move it around, good run and pass, and that'll be the same goal second half.
Well, they're looking good out there, Coach. Best of luck to you in the second half.
All right,
Great, thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Mercedes, and we'll take a break here at AT&T Stadium. Thanks for being with us on the Impact Football Network. It's the West 14 and the East 14 halftime of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. We're back live inside AT&T Stadium. Ryan Castle and former Buffalo Bill and Nebraska Cornhusker, if I could speak, Sheldon Jackson to my left as we get ready for the start of the third quarter. The East and the West tied at 14 here in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Sheldon, it was a good first half. We saw a lot of punting out of the offenses, but there were some explosive plays from both sides, and then two big returns out of both special teams.
Right. First off, I've heard that name mentioned a lot worse than what you just said, Ryan, so I'm okay with that. But you're right. A lot of punting early off in this game, but it did. The offenses started to click a little bit from both sides. Some good running from both running backs on both sides. Didn't see a lot of passing down the field. At least half a dozen screens from both teams, but nothing really attacking the secondary down the middle of the field. So hopefully we can do a little bit more of that, get some more looks for these receivers to show that they're actually here to play as well.
And before we start the third quarter, Mercedes Owens is downstairs with the coach of the West, Mark McMillan. Mercedes?
Guys, yeah, we've got Coach McMillan down here. What a first half, but what was the message in the locker room just now?
Just stay focused, stay patient. You know how this game goes. Anything can happen in an all-star game, and guys just got to stay with it. They're going to make plays like we're going to make plays. We just got to make more than they do.
So has anything stood out to you so far? Does anything make this year different from the past?
I think it's the same. Like I said, the talent is pretty much equal as it was the last couple of years, and you know, the quarterbacks are pretty good this year. So we'll see the second half and see how these guys come out.
I like the we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. And what do you hope they take away from you whenever they leave here tonight?
Just the camaraderie with the other guys. You know, make sure that you get these guys' numbers. These guys will be playing, you know, on the next level. A lot of these guys, and some of these guys might be your boss one day. So just be friendly, be confident in what you do, and have a good time out here.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach. Best of luck to you in the second half.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mercedes. And, you know, Sheldon, that's a good point that Mark brings up. The networking that can be gleaned from a game like this. You don't always think about that aspect of an All-American game like this, but this is an opportunity for a lot of these kids to get out and meet some people from other parts of the country and just sort of glean from those life experiences that they all can share together.
Definitely true the case. You're going to see these kids again. A lot of these kids, like Coach said, are going to be in college. Well, it doesn't matter what division it is. You're going to see these kids again. You're going to play against these kids again, some of them. And like you said, the most important part, what I got was don't burn your bridges.
Well, here's the kickoff to start the third quarter. The West will bring this ball out about 6 yards deep in the end zone and drop short of the 15-yard line. Well, they got a big kickoff return to tie the game in that second quarter out of their special teams, but not so much this time as the return comes out to the 14-yard line.
And stopped by number 95, a big D lineman, 6'2", 36 from St. Joseph Ogden High School, Illinois, Cole Zaccarelli.
That was Jawan Price on the return. He had the 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown that tied the game. That was the answer to the 93-yard touchdown by Jontrell Council on a punt return. So here we go. Nathan Clayton will get his second series as the quarterback. Swings the ball out to the right. Completed pass. And not much room over there on the far side. Not a lot of blocking developed there for that screen, and it's going to be a loss of the play of about 1.
Number 42 on the tackle out of Denison High School, Nathaniel Malsby. Real quick about that kid, I remember watching him at practice yesterday. Everybody was on the sideline. He was the one kid that was getting an angle from the way back behind the defense and kind of see how everybody moves. A real student of the game, that Malsby kid. I had a good time talking with him yesterday at practice.
That pass was caught by Lucas Wright. He lost a yard, and Clayton will go back to throw on second down. Pressure, steps up in the pocket, across the middle, ball deflected and nearly intercepted. Dangerous throw into some traffic by Clayton, and it was nearly picked off by the East. It was William Savala from Carter High School right here in Dallas who had a chance to dive and make that interception. It'll be third down and 11. Going back to Malsby, you mentioned him after the last play, and he went to Denison High School. I got a chance to broadcast a game he played in against Lovejoy earlier this football year, and we called his name a lot on that broadcast. He was all over the football on the defensive side for the Yellow Jackets of Denison. Here's third down. Clayton wants to throw out to the right and incomplete. And a penalty flag comes in the coverage. Lucas Wright was the intended receiver, and maybe some contact before the ball arrived. We'll wait and see.
That is exactly how you let an offense off the hook right there.
That was Matthew Wadig in coverage, and you know, he had a chance to maybe step in front of that throw and maybe take that the other way for 6, but
get a great chance.
Instead, he went for an arm tackle and might have gotten there a bit early. That's going to be, well, let's wait and see here. They've awarded the West a first down, but they didn't give him any yardage.
None whatsoever. I'm not sure about that.
It's a very strange call. Not sure quite what happened there, but a third down and 11 turns into a 1st and 10 from relatively the same spot, and here's a first down handoff. Coming over here to the near side is the ball carrier for the West. That's Tamaj Brown. Gain of nothing brings up 2nd down and 10.
Got to solidify those blocking. We had a running back in the backfield, lead blocking on that one, but he didn't do a good job maintaining his block. If he maintains his block, which in other words to stay on the block, that running back had a chance to get a first down, but because he didn't, that's basically where we started from. Line of scrimmage.
So 2nd and 10, play fake here for Clayton. Going back to throw as he rolls to his right, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended target. Incomplete. Isaiah Patrick, the intended receiver, the running back out of the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 10, and the West has been fortunate a couple of times on this drive to not have some of these passes picked off by the East.
Not sure about this sideline stuff. I mean, we got to throw the ball down the field. We're not even challenging our safeties for the East. They're just back there just kind of flowing a little bit with the quarterback. They're not really being challenged. So hopefully we can get the ball down the field so we can give these receivers a chance.
Here's 3rd and 10. Clayton back to throw. Pressure, hit, and sacked.
Cover sack.
Boy, no time to throw the ball.
And nobody open.
And back to the 15-yard line. He's going to lose a yard. It'll bring up 4th down, and 2 minutes gone by in this 3rd quarter. The West will punt.
We'll credit that tackle with number 90, Dylan Reeves, big D lineman, 6'5", 235, out of Leesville Road High School, North Carolina.
Well, Ryan Hansen will punt. His punts have been high and short for the most part in the game. Council's back deep. Holmes is the up guy. And it's going to go to Holmes right at the 50. Ball's muffed. Council's there to sort of play center field and pick it up. And he'll retain possession for the East. Going to be tackled around the 45-yard line. That ball went right through Bobby Holmes. Luckily for him, his teammate Council was back there to back him up. And the East is going to have good starting field position here, working from their 45-yard line. 13:24 left here in the 3rd quarter, and we're tied at 14.
Credit that tackle, number 50, Cameron Robinson again, out of Wyandotte High School. Definitely representing for Wyandotte. He's had his name called quite a few times on some tackles today. He's doing a really good job playing football today.
And for the East, in at quarterback, it'll be Brandon Odom. Under center, will turn. He'll hand the ball off. This is Petway right up the middle. Actually, Deglow it is on the carry. Number 12, out of Fairmont, Ohio. And gets a nice healthy gain there on 1st down, brings up 2nd and 5.
And again, we've called this young man's name a couple times, number 24, Hunter Riley out of Liberty High School, making that tackle, filling up the hole like linebackers are supposed to do. Definitely doing a great job up top.
Odom dropping the snap. That was very odd there between the center and the quarterback, Odom. And Odom will just fall forward for a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and short. And that's part of the communication issues in an All-American game like this. You have limited practice time, and that center quarterback exchange has been about a 75% success rate here tonight.
That was one of the biggest things during practice that both teams did struggle a little bit with. You got brand new center. This is not the center you've been playing with all season. This is not the quarterback you've been playing with all season. A different set of hands always feel funny back there.
Here's Odom. He'll turn. He'll give the ball off. And not much running room. And the ball's out. The quarterback is back there, Odom. They blow the play dead and say the running back was down by contact. That was Jesse Deglow again on the carry.
Carson Holloway, number 99, again on the tackle. And it looks also like number 51 made his way on that tackle. Jackson Boosie out of Scurry Rosser High School, 6'3", 230 pounds.
That was short of a first down, so here's 4th and less than a yard.
Yes, this is what we're looking for. Go for it.
So here's the East trying to pick up about 6 inches here.
Off tackle again.
And a handoff and a first down. They cross the 45-yard line and get to about the 43. Deglow got the conversion for the East. In a tie game with 11:22 left here in the third quarter, the East will have a first down on the west side of the 50.
Aside from a couple stretch plays, that off tackle has been very successful for the East. I wouldn't go away from it. If you found a kink in the armor of the West defense, you got to exploit it like this.
And now Odom will go back in shotgun with a slot to the left. And wants to throw. Now QB draw right up the middle. And into the second level. Falls forward inside the 40. And is going to be short of a first down by a couple of yards, but a good play design there by the East as they put Odom on the run, and he picks up about 6. So 10:38 left here in the third quarter. Brandon Odom is the quarterback out of Taylorville, Illinois.
Carson Stokes, number 35, in on that tackle.
Jesse Deglow, one of the running backs in there, along with Michael Williams on this series for the East. In the blue jerseys, left to right. Here's the snap. Odom wants to throw. Clean pocket. Lobs one down the left sideline. Incomplete. Looked like the receiver got pushed out of bounds there maybe. Adrian Adams was out of bounds when the ball was let go, so if he had been the first one to touch it, then that would have been a penalty. It'll be third down, and we'll go down to Mercedes.
Hey, guys, I've got Ben Mason down here out of Fairview, Texas, and you're headed to SMU in the fall. Tell us about that decision-making process.
Well, I mean, it's my hometown school. I live about 30 minutes away, and that's where I'm going to get the best chance to play early. So that's what made my decision.
How fun is it playing here, though, as a Texas kid growing up, and to be out here at AT&T Stadium just having some fun? Tell us about this.
It's every Texas boy's dream to come here. You know, play in Jerry's World. You couldn't ask for a better venue to play against some of the top talent in the nation.
From what I'm hearing, it's that you just have all this Texas pride. First of all, pony up. Go Cowboys. Did you know anyone coming into this process? Anyone else from home?
Not in this game. No. I know I've met a lot of Utah kids. I wasn't expecting that, but there's a kid from Salina that I knew like whenever I met the first day. But other than that, no, I didn't know anyone.
And were you nervous about meeting everyone and playing together after just 2 days of working out?
No, not really nervous. I'm a pretty social guy, so I got along with everyone pretty much off the bat.
Any type of rest, or are you playing Fortnite all night?
No, I actually went home last night at 8:30 and hopped in bed, so I was out.
You were serious. You're ready for today. That's what I like. Preparation is key.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ben. Well, thanks for chatting with us, and good luck out there.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Mercedes, thanks very much. Ben Mason, a product of Lovejoy High School, a 3-year starter for Coach Todd Ford, who was the offensive coordinator at North Texas for a while under Coach Todd Dodge, and been a very good offensive lineman, left tackle for the Leopards here in Texas. 2nd down and 6. Odom will throw. Quick screen right side caught by Adams and tackled immediately just inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. So 3rd down and about 5 coming here for the East. This has been a long possession, the first drive of the second half for the East after West punted on their first drive.
It's been good, too. The interior linemen have been doing a great job handling the up front 4 for the West team. 2 or 3 plays ago, number 72, Kellen Adler, was pulling on the trap and springing the running back for a big gain. It was textbook. It looked so good from this view.
Odom under center and an eye right. And we'll hand the ball off to Williams right up the middle. And on 3rd down and 5, needed to get to about the 13. He is very close. And this will depend upon the spot as they unstack.
They ran a similar play just then because they had so much success with it a few plays previous to it. So I can totally understand. They're going to probably run some other misdirection perhaps, maybe something in the end zone. And I wouldn't be surprised if that trap comes back. it's definitely helped the East out a lot running that trap up the middle.
This will be 4th down and a yard. And a big play here in a tie game in the 3rd quarter, halfway through. Odom under center. Deglow is the deep running back. And they're going to give it to Deglow. And a nice job to bounce off tackle. He's inside the 10, still on his feet. Being spun down near the 5. Forward progress will get him to the 7. That'll be good enough for an East first down. They kept it on the ground there, Sheldon, and that big offensive line gave Jesse Deglow the room he needed.
The West is going to have to do something up front because these guys are either getting tired up front, because that's way too many missed tackles for an interior line and linebacker to do. Now you're requiring your safety to come up and make tackles. West's going to be in trouble if they don't make an adjustment quick.
So 1st and goal now at the 7 for the East, trying to retake the lead. They were down 7-0 early in this game, scored 14 unanswered to take the lead, and then the West was able to answer. Odom is going to throw, rolls the pocket to his right, plants his feet in the ground. Now we'll run it. He's to the 10 and hit pretty hard around the 5-yard line. Winds up picking up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go.
Attribute the linebacker number 52, Jack Lacey III, out of Pittsburgh High School in California on that tackle.
It's been real hard for the quarterbacks to get a lot of time back in the pocket to look for options down the field. We've talked about sort of the inability to attack down the field. A lot of that has to do with the defense.
Right. I mean, I made comments about throwing the ball down the field, but a lot of the stuff in these short time practices, you got to do that quick stuff. That's the only thing you have really time for. Even though you practice deep balls, you still got to get that short game underway and under control.
And the handoff to Deglow right up the middle. Gets to the 3-yard line. It will be 3rd and goal for the East from there with 6 minutes to play here in this 3rd quarter. This has been a long drive. That West defense has been on the field for a long time right now. And you can start to see that in their body language. A lot of hands on hips out there right now for the guys in the gray jerseys.
A lot of heavy breathing going on down there in that front 4.
Odom under center, 3rd and goal. He'll turn, he'll give it to Deglow, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and the ball came out, and the West thinks they have recovered a fumble. One of the offensive linemen for the East actually came out of the stack and rumbled his way to the end zone. I'm not sure that's going to be the final ruling on this particular play, but we'll see if they do give the recovery to the East. It's looking that way, although I never saw an official indication. So it will be 4th and goal. They lost a couple of yards there as Deglow was hit right as he took the handoff. And so the East is going to try for 3 and try to grab the lead here. Harrison Leonard, who missed from 54 yards earlier, this time a bit closer, a 23-yard attempt. It is up, and it is good, just inside the left upright with 4:45 left in the 3rd quarter. The East is back in front, 17-14 over the West. A long scoring drive right there for George Teague in the East.
A good running drive, too. They didn't really mix it up too much offensively. A lot of running in between the tackles, which is what you got to do in a game like this. Give kids a chance to showcase skills with the running, with the ball in their hands. Now, the West has to answer, though. They have to put the right group of kids out there, again, trying to give everybody a chance to play, give everybody a chance to showcase their abilities. But they got to get something going here, because if they do not, then the East will run away with this.
So now we'll see Jawan Price back deep, see if he can get the ball in his hands and maybe produce some more magic for the West. He had the 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown earlier in the game.
I don't think they're going to kick it to him.
You know, it's interesting, Sheldon, I was going to ask you about that. Harrison Leonard, we've seen, has plenty of leg to get this ball out the back of the end zone. But on that return, it was almost like George Teague and the special teams coordinator for the East, Sean Riley, or not Sean Riley, I beg your pardon, Reggie Young, sort of told Leonard, hey, let's kick the ball short, see if we can pin him deep. And that led to the big return. And you see that a lot these days in high school football, of kickers who have the ability to kick the ball out of the back of the end zone. And look at this. Price is going to bring it out 8 yards deep. He's up to the 10 and in some trouble, and is going to go down at around the 12-yard line. You just wonder why coaches would tell kickers, hey, let's kick it short and give the team an opportunity to return, because a couple of missed tackles later, you might be regretting that decision.
Either it's just a little too much faith in their coverage team, or maybe too much false hope in their defense. But I'm like you. If I got a kicker that can kick it out of the end zone, I'm going to have him kick it out of the end zone every time.
Well, that's what Leonard basically did right there. And give credit to Price. He wants to come out here and try to make another play. You're certainly not going to get a knee down in the end zone on a highlight tape.
Exactly. And that's why they lined up those returners in the end zone.
And Taj Gregory is going to be back in there at quarterback. We haven't seen him in a while. Wanted to throw there on first down, but as he rolls out to his right, he is hit and sacked by the East.
He's going to have to move a little quicker if that's what he's going to do. Number 95, Cole Zaccarelli again on the tackle. He wasn't having any of that. Zachary's got to move a little quicker.
Yeah, we've seen him be a bit slow to escape the pocket and get away from pressure. If the West could give him some time to throw the ball in the pocket, he's 6'7". He'll be able to find receivers down the field, but the offensive line has struggled to give him time. They give him a little bit here, and this ball's intercepted as it was thrown in double coverage. Here's the return by the East. Down the sideline 30 with some blocking to the 20. And
it's gonna come
looked
back.
like he stepped out of bounds back upfield.
About
yeah,
15,
the side
14.
judge is going to come in and make that call around the 15-yard line.
That's number 5, Tyler White, Carl Junction High School, Missouri. 5'11", 170. He read that perfectly. He might as well have been the receiver on that one, the way he caught that ball over his shoulder. The same way you teach receivers to catch it. That was a great, great display of ability.
You're right about that. He really did look like a great receiver there, catching that ball over the shoulder. There is a penalty flag down back upfield, and that might be an illegal block downfield as White was making the return. So this might not turn out quite as good as the East hoped for, but still they'll have the ball and the turnover. It's the second turnover of the game for the West.
And I wish we had a replay for that. That looked really good. I can teach a bunch of kids at the school I work at now how to play football on that play right there by Mr. White.
This is Odom in there at quarterback, and he wants to throw on first down, and they're going to take a shot at the end zone. Counsell in single coverage, incomplete. And you can see the side judge throw his hat there. That was to indicate that Counsell had stepped out of bounds over here on the near side. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That receiver can do a better job to give himself a chance to make a play on that one. He just kind of allowed himself to get pushed to the end zone out of bounds for one. But if he had ran a much stronger route, and he could have given himself a better chance and given the quarterback a better place, a better pocket to put the ball in.
And we'll go down to Mercedes Owens here in just a moment after this next play. Odom will come under center, and an eye left. Here's the snap and the handoff, and some good penetration into the backfield by the West. And a nice job as well by the running back. That was Deron King to get some positive yardage out of that. Let's send it down to Mercedes.
Hey guys, I've got Cooper Legault down here all the way from Utah. How is this process so far? What do you think about the Blue-Gray experience?
I've had a great time, and I've really gotten along with the teammates on the West Side, and it's been a good time so far.
And what have you been able to take away? I know you haven't decided where you're going in the fall, but is there anything you've been able to take away that you want to carry with you into your football career?
I don't know. I just know that I can play against anyone, no matter how good they are. I know I can do good. So.
I thought I stunned you, but that was pretty good. It's really interesting to see how everything turns out when you come down to play with people that you don't know, you have zero experience with, and then to turn around in 2 days. That's tough.
Yeah, it's been all right. I went to a lot of camps this summer, and it's pretty similar to this. You just show up. It's a bunch of people you've never met. You got to learn to play with them. Even if it's just a day or two that you're working with them, you got to learn how to work with them. That's part of football.
Is there anything that the coaching staff has said to you that's been able to like really hit home?
Not off the top of my head, but I do love the coaches here. They're cool.
I really appreciate your honesty, Cooper. Yeah, the coaches are cool. We're having fun for sure.
Yeah, they're cool.
Thanks, Cooper. Good luck out there. Thanks for talking with us.
All right, Mercedes, thanks very much. And here's a low snap picked up by the quarterback, Odom, and he'll just have to fight for what yardage he can get. Gains maybe 1.
Right before that play, Ryan, you didn't see it, but the West had to sub out 4 new linemen. The East is obviously knocking on the door again to score, and the previous 4 linemen were getting a little tired. So Coach McMillan had decided to just bring in 4 new guys up front because they can't let the East get us any more points on the board.
So 2nd down and about 9. Council will go to the left, more of a slot, not really out wide. And the running back is Deron King behind the quarterback, Odom under center, and some movement up front. And this will be called a false start against the offense. Looked like the left defensive end went into the neutral zone, but apparently was drawn offsides.
Maybe a little movement by the center, a little movement of the ball.
So 2nd down and 14 now. And the East with a 17-14 lead, trying to get some points off of a West turnover, an interception thrown by Taj Gregory. A wonderfully intercepted ball by Tyler White out of Missouri. Trying to give his team an opportunity to pad their lead here late in the 3rd quarter. Odom under center, tosses the ball to King. Now an end around Council with blocking out in front. The quarterback, Odom, will deliver a block. Council to the 5, fighting to the goal line. Touchdown.
Saw that coming.
John Trell Council scores, and it was Odom who led the lead, blocked there on the end around play. Council with another touchdown.
That defensive end just completely took off running and did not stay home. That's what you teach front 4. You teach defensive ends. If the play is going away from you, stay right there. Something's coming back to you. That time the defensive end just pursued for the ball across the line of scrimmage, and he was completely out of position when the reverse came around.
So now the extra point for the East. And the turnover hurts the West. The East goes right down and scores on a trick play. Nice little end around. And John Trell Council scores.
That's the thing about these games, Ryan. You may not have a lot of time to work on your special teams, but you sure got enough time to put in a trick play or 2.
And I know that's got to be fun for the quarterback, Odom, to try to get out and throw a lead block for his receiver. I'm not sure that he made a ton of contact there, but just getting in the way is certainly helpful for the ball carrier there, Council, who scored his 2nd touchdown of the game. He now has a punt return and a rushing touchdown and a couple of catches in the game as well for the East.
Looked like he's putting in his bid for player of the game.
Here's the kickoff by Leonard, high end over end. And this is going to be the other returner with a shot here out to the 5. Throws on the brakes around the 7, gets up across the 10. And a flag is in from the far side. That ball was returned on the play by Dalen DeGraffenried from Ridgeview, California.
The tackle on that play was by number 19, Miles Talley, St. Joe's Prep High School out of Pennsylvania.
And that penalty is against the West, so that return that only got to about the 12 is going to wind up being, it's going to result in a drive that will start inside the 10-yard line for the West. Down by 10, 1:06 left here in the 3rd quarter. Taj Gregory was the quarterback on the last series. We'll see if
he's back in.
Yeah, he is back in there, so we'll see what sort of short-term memory he has going on after throwing an interception on the last drive. Jawan Price will be one of the running backs in to his left. And he's going to run it himself right up the middle, has a nice hole across the 10 and up close to the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2 coming up as we're under a minute now to play here in this third quarter.
I think that was number 91 on the tackle there for the East. Number 91, Isaiah Brown Dietzman, again, out of Illinois. 6'3", 237 pounds, defensive end. Uh-oh.
And the ball's out. Oh, no, the West might have turned the ball over again. We'll have to wait and see, but the initial indication is that the East got it, and it's going to be their ball. The turnovers here in the third quarter have hurt the West. The East is going to have this starting at the West 11-yard line.
Wow. I mean, that's football, right? If you turn the ball over, you just can't win the game. It's almost impossible to win a football game if you're going to have more turnovers than your opponents.
They're actually going to spot the ball at the 10, so an opportunity here for the East to blow this game open with 31 seconds left in the third quarter. And remember that the quarterback for the East, who's in there right now, Tristan Dillon, went down with an injury near the end of that first half. He's back in there now.
Walking good?
Yeah, appears to be moving around just fine. Hands it off on first down. Gain of a couple, 2nd and goal coming up. There might be a bit of a hitch in that giddy up, but for the most part, seems to be moving around relatively okay. And before the snap, that'll be the end of the third quarter here at AT&T Stadium. This is the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Ryan Cashel, Sheldon Jackson, Mercedes Owens down on the sideline. Our entire Impact Football Network crew will go to the fourth with the East leading the West 24-14. And you see all the players down on the field right now, as you see all across the state and around the country holding up the 4 fingers to indicate this is the fourth quarter. Every team believes that this is their time, and we'll see whose time it is. The West putting themselves in a hole, Sheldon, with the turnovers, the interception thrown by Gregory, and now the fumble deep in their own territory. And the East have a great opportunity here to seize control of the game.
Correct, and put this away. Yes, the fourth quarter, man, every time we ever played a game, high school, collegiately, even professionally, you always want to believe that in the fourth quarter, no matter what the score indicated on the scoreboard, you and your team had a chance to come from behind or solidify a win. So, yes, the fourth quarter is important in this sport. It's important in a lot of sports, but definitely in football, because you always want to believe that your team has what it takes to come back and win.
Well, one of our engineers, the esteemed Don Griffin, just told us, Sheldon, that the East squad had the ball 14 minutes in that third quarter. Dillon back to throw, hit, and tried to get rid of the ball, fumbled it, and it's recovered back outside the 15-yard line, close to the 20. Oh, my goodness, a comedy of errors there by the East. First of all, they blocked nobody, and then Dillon trying to make a play, maybe a bit ill-advised, tried to throw that ball. It wound up being a fumble.
I'm a little wondering a little bit about that play calling. With up by 10, an entire quarter to play, you're on your team's, 16, 17-yard line. Why not run the ball? It's been working for you. But that's why I'm commentating and not play calling.
We'll have Mercedes Owens down on the sideline here in just a moment after this third down and goal play. 3rd and goal from the 17. Dillon in the gun, back to throw, pressure, and throws a fade to the back corner of the end zone. It is incomplete, broken up, intended for Ryan Schmidt. And now it'll be George Teague sending in the field goal team. Before the field goal try, let's go down to Mercedes.
Hey guys, I'm joined down here with Taj Gregory. Now, you started the game today, but that's no easy challenge, right? Because things just aren't really clicking until the second quarter, at least. Talk about the pressure and getting everyone on the same timeline.
I mean, it's a lot of people from different places of the country just trying to come together and play as a team, and it doesn't always go the way we want it to.
But things have picked up, and it's been an exciting couple of quarters. What do you say?
I say, yeah, we got, 14 more minutes? We're going to make something happen.
And what was, okay, so I talked to Coach McMillan after halftime. He said he kept it pretty nice in there. Did he? What was his message?
We're going to leave that in the locker room.
See, you're smart already. You've learned, definitely. Now, what has been your biggest takeaway from your experience here with Blue Gray football?
It's just a great experience just to come out here and compete with some great kids from across the country and just, get better.
It never hurts to play at AT&T Stadium, though, does it?
It doesn't. This is my first time playing here. I plan on going to state championship this year, but that didn't happen, so I'm here now.
Well, you can take this back to your classmates and say what you did tonight.
Yes.
All right, Taj. Well, good luck out there. Thanks so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there's Taj Gregory, the quarterback for the Coppell Cowboys, and
Thanks, Taj.
looking to add to his list of offers here at the Blue Gray All-American Bowl. The field goal was up and good, and so the East with another field goal to make it 27-14. And Sheldon, if you're the West team and Coach Mark McMillan, you have to be feeling pretty good about holding the East to 2 field goals after those turnovers. You're still in the ball game here, still plenty of time left with just under 15 minutes to play, and it's a 2-score game.
Correct. You are happy with that, but you can't shake the fact that your team has turned the ball over so much in that last quarter. So that deficit, that problem right there, may not be able to be overturned, but we'll see. With 14 minutes, just over 14 minutes left in the quarter, anything is possible with this group of kids out there.
So here's the kickoff. And a chance to return for Jawan Price. He'll come right up the middle to the 10, and again dropped right at the 15-yard line. And, you can tell that there was a conversation amongst George Teague and Reggie Young and that kickoff return and coverage team. And we said, hey, listen, we're not going to let that guy get loose again, and they haven't.
Right. I mean, make no mistake about it, they're doing a great job with the coverages, but what we got to look at, too, is the kickoff return team, and it didn't look like there were many guys out there trying their best to block. Again, I know with games like this, all-star kids from different areas around the country, the special teams take so much time to fine-tune, but you got to give a little more effort on that special teams if you really want to score on the special teams.
So to start this next drive, the West will have Cooper Lega in at quarterback, and they fumbled the ball again. And it is East football. My goodness, this second half has been just a train wreck offensively. For the West, they have not been able to hold on to the football, and another turnover deep in their own end.
Listen, I got to give a shout out to that number 73, Zion Ware, Station Camp High School, Tennessee, was the one that got his hand in on that and caused that fumble. 6 feet, 300 pounds. Honestly enough, Ryan, during practice, Zion did very well against just about everybody he went up against. You wouldn't think much, but when you got out there, he was technically proficient, very strong coming off the ball, and he demonstrated that on getting his hand on that and causing that fumble in that last play.
So the East will start at the West 11. Dylan under center will hand the ball off right at the middle. And not much room inside the 10 goes Deron King out of Moorhead, North Carolina.
Tackled by number 51, Jackson Boosie out of Texas. Scurry Rosser High School.
And the time of possession battle has been not very much of a battle at all in this third quarter and fourth quarter. The East has been on the field
about 15 minutes now.
Yeah, 15 minutes out of basically an 18-minute half so far. That West defense, although it is very deep with a lot of players, and obviously everybody is sort of shuffling in and out, they've got to be tired at this point. Here's a screen right, Adams with a catch, big hit around the 5-yard line, and Adams is dropped after a short gain.
Credit that big hit to number 34, Sterling Henderson, Farewell High School. Again, one of the Texas kids. And I did hear one of the coaches commenting on Mr. Sterling Henderson as being one of the top linebackers in that group.
So here's third down. They can actually get a first down without scoring if they get it down to about the 1. Ball is at the right hash at the 5-yard line. Third down. This would be a huge win for the West defense if they could stop them again.
Or get the ball.
Here's the snap. They're going to
Tackle.
hand off right up the middle, pushing
Touchdown.
towards the goal line, and he is in. Deron King with a touchdown, and helped out by the rest of his team, it felt like, pushing him towards the goal line for the score.
Big number 77, Brandon Laird, did get a hand on him and looked like he made contact before he got to the line of scrimmage, but the sheer power of the running back just overtook him and overcame, put him in the end zone.
So the extra point from Leonard will make it a 20-point game. 13:08 left here in the ball game. Good snap, hold, and the kick is good. And the West with 3 turnovers in this second half. All of them have led to points. This one a touchdown run by Deron King. And Huston Sullivan getting some love on the public address here at AT&T Stadium, the long snapper for the East. With a great snap back to the holder, and the kick by Leonard was good. So 34-14, and one thing that I've noticed, Sheldon, is not only is the West team turning the ball over, but it is deep in their own territory. They are not starting with good field position. You wonder if Coach McMillan may take a look at Jawan Price and DeGraffenreid Reed and say, hey guys, listen, let's just knee the ball in the end zone. Let's try to get our offense some breathing room and let them start at the 25-yard line instead of where they've been starting, which is around the 10 or 15.
That would be wise. That would definitely be a wise decision to make. But at the same time, all you need is like a dunk in basketball. You need to turn it around on the special teams to get the momentum back in your hands, back in your favor. Anything is still possible with 13 minutes left. And, you got to score quite a bit, but you got to get started with that first score.
Here comes the kick by Leonard.
Oh, no.
And that is going to go through the uprights very nearly. Lands just short, but it's a touchback nonetheless. And the ball will start de facto here at the 25-yard line after the unreturnable kick by Harrison Leonard. That guy is really showing quite the leg here in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl.
Definitely showing a little mercy to the West team, giving them a chance to start on 25. What do you think they do offensively here, Ryan?
Well, I think down 20, 13:08 left, you've got to sort of start to air it out a little bit here.
Just a little, right. You can't do no off tackles on this regard. You got to put the ball down the field, start off with some time and stuff, short down the outside, near the sideline perhaps. You got to at least challenge the middle of the field.
Cooper Lega will be in the shotgun before the first snap, a penalty flag. And we might have had 12 men in the offensive formation. So that'll be against the West, and that's yet another mental mistake by the West here in this second half. And that's probably, again, a product of the lack of practice time.
You can almost chalk up any mistake to the lack of practice time.
Lega will go back to throw on 1st and 15.
There you go.
Going deep, has a man open, incomplete. And some good coverage back there on the back end from the East. Try to take a look at the number of the intended receiver. I think it was Dylan James out of Eagle Crest, Colorado, who you mentioned earlier, Sheldon, as being one of the more dynamic receivers in this game. And that was good coverage there by the East.
Yeah, Dylan James was exciting to watch during practice. He was quick off the brakes, his arms pumped. I mean, he looked like he had been trained since he came out the womb. But they need to put the ball in his hands, and they tried just then. We got to do it again.
Michael Dunlap was in coverage for the East. 2nd and 15 across the middle here, and a diving catch is made just short of the 35-yard line. That's a good gain there, 14 yards, sliding grab made by DeGraffenreid Reed.
DeGraffenreid Reed is another receiver that's solid. Again, you got to use these young men and get the ball into their hands. There's a pocket, nice positive pocket for the quarterback to throw. He's got to deliver it a little quicker. Try to put the ball in front of the receivers and give them a chance to stay on their feet and perhaps score, make a big play.
So 3rd down.
QB draw.
Let's call it about 3. Lega will run it himself. Got to get to the 35-yard line, and looks like he's just short. tackled at about the 34.5, but the line is actually they're going to give him the 35-yard line. So that'll be enough for a first down. Cooper Lega fighting for the conversion there for the West.
So they're not out. You know, they're not giving up, and that's good to see this late in the game with the point spread. So that's encouraging. The kids they're not fighting. They're trying to give it all they have, and it still want to be seen by coaches. So this isn't good. It's good to see.
Lega will go back to throw. Quick out to the right. Ball's caught, and that could have been a big gainer. But a nice open field tackle made on Dalen DeGraffenreid just as he made the catch. If he's able to slip that tackle, he has some room to run, maybe past midfield or more, but instead it'll be second down and about 2.
Credit that tackle to number 9, Michael Dunlap, Easton High School out of Pennsylvania.
He was the one that had the good coverage earlier on Dylan James. Second down and short. Lega back to throw, time, standing in the pocket, and now will run it himself, has a first down and more, and has a block downfield into East territory, slides down inside the 45 at the 43-yard line, and another first down on the carry by the quarterback, Lega. We've seen him primarily operate effectively with his legs, so perhaps an aptly named quarterback out of Orem, Utah. He'll be in the shotgun here. First down at the East 43. Going back to throw. They bring 3 on the pressure here. They come and they hit the quarterback hard and sack him back at midfield. Lega goes down.
Number 91, Isaiah Brown Deesman. D-line, 6'3", 237, Warrensville South High School. I mentioned him before, big and powerful, fast, got a motor. He's been trying to get to that quarterback. He's been coming around the edge over and over and over again. He finally got to him.
And that was a hard hit that Lega just took, coming right in his face.
I promise you, Lega is thinking about number 91 right now.
The left defensive end. Snap.
Here he comes again.
Yep, they block him a little better this time. Screen left, not much room, and a short gain back to the 48-yard line. And it's going to set up third down and long, and we'll go down to Mercedes.
Hey guys, I've got Haley Buckles down here joining us from North Dakota. So talk about your experience. What was the hike like down to Texas?
You know, it's been an awesome experience coming down here and just getting the opportunity to play, you know, in this All-American game. There's a lot of great athletes here, you know, coming up from North Dakota. You know, being up there, it's a whole different ball game down here, and it's been really fun to experience it and get to play and meet a lot of new guys.
So what made you want to play in this bowl game tonight?
You know, I've always wanted to play college ball, and, you know, being named, you know, 3-time All-ADC and 2-time first All-Team State really gave me the confidence to come down here, you know, want to see how I stack up against some of these, you know, 3-star, 4-star athletes, and just to get me prepared to go on and to play college ball up at the University of North Dakota.
So it's been a good experience so far?
Yes, it has. It's been a fantastic experience.
And where are you hoping to go in the fall?
Going to University of North Dakota.
So you're sitting close to home?
I am staying close to home. It's about an hour and a half away.
I'm sure Mom and Dad are happy about that.
They're very happy.
Well, Haley, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Good luck out there. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks, Mercedes. And Dalen DeGraffenreid just pulled in a highlight catch to give the West a first and goal from the 10. And another throw across the middle. Lega, the ball is caught for a touchdown, and it's DeGraffenreid again. Boy, they fed him the ball on that drive, and he delivered a touchdown. The West is in the ball game with 8:53 left here in the fourth quarter. The extra point, and this is now back to a 2-score game. That was a great drive right down the field by the West.
Way to cap it off with a slant over the middle. Again, we talked about this. You got to put these defensive backs on edge, get them on their heels. If you don't attack them, they're going to be comfortable. Then you're stuck with just trying to run the ball.
Yeah, the extra point is up and good from Hogan.
That's some good effort, too, coming off that edge for that field goal block by Mr. Holmes out of South Oak Cliff. Again, I'm a special teams coach, and that's what I teach my guys to do. Come around that edge, find that blocking point, sprint as hard as you can.
I can't guarantee that you'll get there every time, but I can guarantee you won't get there if you don't try to get there 100% every time. So he did a great job. He didn't get the block, but I'm sure if he keeps trying, eventually he will.
Yeah, well said, partner. And well, let's go back and talk a little bit about Dalen DeGraffenried. A great possession by him and a couple of really nice catches in traffic. The first set up the touchdown, and then the second one on that quick slant, as you said. A ball thrown a little bit behind him, but he was able to reach behind and make the catch. And a very good possession receiver, but also able to go deep.
Most certainly. He was praised by his coaches as one of their better receivers. Just one of those type of players that you just like to have because he can do the short game. He's good. He's adequate with the short game. He's efficient with the long game. You just got to put him out there, and you got to put the ball in his hands and put the ball up where he can go get it, which he's clearly demonstrated that he can do.
And another sort of ancillary effect to that long drive by the West is that it gave their defense a chance to breathe. And now the kickoff by Hoban
is coming out.
Will go to Holmes, 3 yards deep, and here he comes. Turns left to the 10, bounces outside to the 15, and won't get far. Tackled pretty immediately on the play by the West. That was Dawson Miller out of Rockwall Heath High School here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Miller with a special teams tackle as Holmes got it back to just the 15-yard line.
Also got to put in on that tackle number 7, Tavion Grant out of Killeen High School, one of our Texas kids as well. If you can corral Mr. Holmes and keep him inside the 15 on the kickoff return, you're doing a great job.
And I know later on in January we'll have another game here, another Blue-Gray All-American Bowl at AT&T Stadium. We'll have more Texas kids in that game. Here's the toss on first down. Spinning away from a couple of would-be tacklers is Keegan Simmons, and he crosses the 20-yard line. Gain of about 6 there for Simmons. 8:30 left in the game, 34-21, the East with the lead. The story of this second half has been the ability of the East defense to cause turnovers.
Definitely.
Those 3 turnovers by the West have led to 13 points. That's the difference in the game right now, with the East leading here about halfway through the fourth.
Got to credit that last tackle to Marcus Pedraza, out of Far San Juan Alamo High School here in Texas.
Jesse Deglow will get the handoff here from Brendan Odom, and he is not getting far. Going to lose yardage here back to the 18, loss of 3. Good job again by that West front 4. They have played well in this game.
They're really stepping it up in this quarter, trying to do whatever they can to give their team a chance to win. They're doing a real good job.
I'm not sure we can say enough good things about the West defense. And defensive coach, George Martinez.
Oh, that's an NFL veteran coach there. He knows everything about football. So if you just listen, you're going to learn with Coach. Uh-oh.
Odom with the pass deflected and nearly intercepted. Did not see the linebacker, and
Carson.
That was very nearly picked off and returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, Carson Stokes wishes he could have had that one back. Northridge High School out of Utah. He wishes he can have that one back. But it's very different, man. When you get out there and you play the game, you get under the lights and your adrenaline's pumping, that ball's in the air, time just seems to stand still. And you think you got enough time to do anything and do this. And when the play is over, you just realize, oh, man, I just messed up. So, no, I understand why that one didn't come up as an interception.
Well, Sheldon, don't look now, but the West defense forces the 3 and out. They're about to get the ball back here.
With real
Here's
good.
The punt.
Hopefully.
Fair catch called for and made right around midfield, and they'll have great starting field position. That ball was fair caught.
If they move the ball around like they did last series, they were effective passing the ball on the sideline, passing the ball on the interior. Those same passes, same routes will be available. As long as that offensive line will hold up and give the quarterback enough time to throw, he'll be able to do the exact same thing and put another 6 points up on the board.
That was Noah Fuentes who made that fair catch on special teams for the West. He's out of Clear Falls, Texas.
Number 5.
And so here comes the West offense. They will be led again by Cooper Lega. He has been the quarterback for each of their scoring drives. Back to throw on first down. Pressure. Steps up in the pocket, away from the pressure. Flips the ball downfield. It is caught, but is it in bounds? Here comes the call. Yes, it's a catch.
It is.
Got a foot in around the 20-yard line.
They're talking about it.
And that's
It
to
is good.
Graffenried again.
Nice.
Graffenried is having a heck of a game here in the fourth quarter alone. Has 3 big catches. First down West to the 19-yard line.
Looks like the West has found some kind of weak spot on that East defense, and they're trying to exploit it.
And how about that play made by the quarterback, Lega, to escape the pressure, throw off his back foot across his body, and found Graffenried right along the sideline. Here's first down. Lega back to throw again, pressure up the middle, rolls the pocket to his right, he'll have room to run. He's at the 15-10, he's at the 5, he'll score, touchdown! Penalty flag flies in just as Lega crosses the goal line.
Yeah.
This may very well be coming back, but even if it is, Sheldon, what a run by Lega as he got out of the pocket. Now, he might have been helped by a couple of illegal blocks, maybe some holding, but wow, what a play by the quarterback, Lega. This will be coming back, but we see the athleticism from him in the pocket right there.
Very much so. Everybody was covered. And so he rolled out to his right. He had all kind of green to run in front of him. And I saw out of my eye when as soon as he crossed the guy, one of his teammates came back and looked like to be a receiver and made the block below the waist. And that you cannot do. You cannot come back on an outside in, which is basically from the sidelines in towards the hash marks, and block someone below the waist. You got to stay above the waistline. So this one will be coming back.
So definitely a tough penalty.
Yeah, that
taken
one's
there
hard.
by the West, and you can just add that to the list of
right
things that have held them back here in the second half.
Goodness gracious, that was a great play by the quarterback. You just hate to see that when they're trying to make a run, they're putting plays together, guys make big plays, and they get in the scoring position, and then somebody does one of those mental mess ups and puts us back in this situation.
So it's 1st and 18. And Lega will go back to throw. Clean pocket, going left side, end zone. That is caught, but is it in bounds? Yes, it is. Touchdown.
Wow.
The beautifully thrown ball there by Cooper Lega, and I believe it was Cameron Ransom out of Fairfield, Texas, who went up and made the catch. Trying to take a look over there on the far side at who exactly it was, but a great catch just in bounds, and the West have scored. It is Ransom with a catch and the touchdown. What a play.
Wow. That's huge. Way to overcome mental errors. You just score a touchdown on the very next play.
So the extra point by Hoban. This is now a 1-score game. And it's blocked. That's a huge play. The extra point is blocked.
Oh, man, I wish I saw who get that.
And now the return by the East. The play was never blown dead, and now
it is.
Finally is as the return comes to an end. That's a huge block, though, right there, Sheldon, because it keeps it a 7-point East lead with 6:37 left in the fourth quarter.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. Gosh, that's what, again, like I mentioned to you guys earlier, it's like in basketball getting a dunk. It's in baseball, it's getting a home run. You get one play to showcase what you can do. One play only. If you do everything right, you might make a play and it helps your team. If you do anything wrong, then you don't help your team. So that was an example of doing everything right, getting your hand up at the very last effort, pushing as hard as you can, getting your hand up, making a block, and now you can almost ensure your team is going to get this victory.
I love the mental aspect that you mentioned of that last touchdown by the West after that big penalty that wiped off that touchdown run by Lega to come back on the very next play and showed that just did not affect them.
Yes.
And to go deep and to get another touchdown, a great throw by Lega in double coverage.
Yeah, great call, great play calling because you have to score. I mean, you get that mental hiccup by one of your players, but you still got to get in the end zone as quickly as possible because you know you got to score a couple more times to win this game. So I totally love the play calling on that. With this type of a situation, get exotic with it. I don't care. Go crazy. Give these kids a chance to play football.
There's a lot of time left in this game. Just a moment ago, it was 34-14. The East with a 20-point lead and back-to-back touchdowns by the West. And this has all come with Cooper Lega as the quarterback, the 6'2", 205-pounder from Orem, Utah.
Question, Ryan. You kick it out of bounds, or you kick it to Mr. Holmes?
I think you got to kick it as deep as you possibly can and away from that guy. It's high, and it's going to be returnable. Holmes in between the W and the B of Cowboys. Here he comes out of the end zone. Turns left 10. He's dropped at the 12-yard line. It was Miller again to make another special teams tackle as Holmes could not get far.
It's a good job on the coverage. Good job corralling probably one of the most athletic guys on the field who really hasn't had a chance to just go crazy yet, but great job on the coverage.
So the East will be backed up here to start their next drive. And this has been sort of bad news for both teams on drives where they've had to start deep in their own territory. It has not gone well for the most part in the game. And most notably so for the West, who have turned the ball over several times deep in their own end. Let's look here. I think it's going to be Odom under center. Yes, it will. He'll throw on first down. Rolls to his right, looking deep down the field, throws back across the middle of the field, and it's off of the hands of the intended receiver. That was up in the air for a little bit. Incomplete after all is said and done, 2nd and 10.
I think one of those linemen up there got away with a little bit of holding on that one to give their quarterback a little more time to throw. But, again, sometimes you got to do that, especially if you don't get called for it.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, and are you surprised there that the East would come out throwing the ball?
No, I'm not surprised at all. They got to back these linebackers up to kind of open up just a little breathing room for the running backs to get up inside. I wouldn't be surprised they come off tackle, even though they line up in the passing formation. Want to get this game over. If you're the East, you want the game over, but you definitely got to get out of your side of the field.
Odom's going to throw again. Checks down left side Petway, and unable to slip an open field tackle made there by the West. Well done there by the defensive back. That was, let's take a look here. Hunter Riley out of Liberty, California, who made a wonderful open field tackle there on Isaac Petway. Gain of just 2. Here comes 3rd down. So now if you're the East, you have to throw the ball on 3rd down and long. And this could stop the clock, give the ball back to the West with a ton of time left, down by 7. Big play right here.
And great field position. Let's not forget that, Ryan. They have the chance to get the ball back with great field position.
And here's the handoff. Sam Stickley will get the carry short of a 1st down, so they will keep it on the ground, keep the clock rolling. But they do not pick up the 1st down. The clock will wind. It'll be under 5 minutes by the time the ball is snapped, but it'll be punted back to the West here. And Jawan Price is going to go back deep to return the punt. Well, this has quickly turned around in this second half after the East went up by 20.
It's almost a football game again.
Brian Cooey will punt for the East. Price is back deep with Fuentes.
How about a punt block right now would be nice.
There's a high spiraling kick, flip-flop kick. Price will let it bounce, and it will go sideways back upfield and basically roll out of bounds just in front of the East bench. 4:44 left in the game. It'll be West ball. This has been a great game here tonight at AT&T Stadium. We've seen just about everything. A kickoff return and a punt return for touchdown.
Great
3
interceptions.
second-half turnovers by the West, and that has not phased them. They are still down by just 1 score with 4:44 left here in the 4th quarter. Yeah, great interceptions, great play by the defense. Really the only thing that we haven't necessarily seen from either team other than maybe the West in this 4th quarter is the ability to attack down the field with the passing game. But the West is making up for lost time in the 4th quarter, showing that skill off with Cooper Lega, and he'll be in the shotgun here. Bad snap, but a false start is going to be called here against the West.
Listen, one thing you don't get to see at home watching this game is what's going on in the transition from special team plays to regular plays from scrimmages. There's a lot of talking going on, a lot of jaw jacking, some pushing around going on, referees getting in between kids. So me as a coach, that's always nice to see. I like to see kids that are passionate about it, kids that are all into it, kids that are ready to go out there and compete, and that's what we're seeing. Like you said earlier, these guys are coming back. The West team is not just laying down and just taking a L on this one. They're fighting back with everything they have. And with this level of talent on both sidelines, I can't expect anything less, Ryan. They're doing a good job.
Yeah, they certainly are. If you're just joining us, the West took the lead early with a touchdown run by Cooper Lega, then 14 unanswered by the East before the West tied it on a kickoff return touchdown by Jawan Price. We were tied at 14 at halftime. Here's a handoff. Price with room, 40, 45, 50. Still on his feet into East territory and finally brought down around the 40-yard line. 24 yards for Jawan Price and a first down for the West.
Tackled by number 22, Garrett Myron, Fairmont High School out of Minnesota.
Then in the second half, Sheldon, it was 20 straight points to start the half by the East. Some turnovers were mixed in by the West to help the cause. And ever since then, the West has roared back into the game, down by just a score, 4 minutes to play. And now Lega going on a play fake. Pressure, escapes the pressure. Still on his feet, reverses field back to the left. Throws the ball on the run, man all alone, and the ball is caught. Here's Price running free inside the 25 and finally brought down around the 20. And the improvisation ability from Cooper Lega has been on display here in the second half.
No doubt. He was, Mr. Jerkins, the linebacker for the East, had Lega in his sights. And such shiftiness in the quarterback that allowed for him to stay open, stay alive, just enough to hit a wide open running back on the sideline, move the chains, keep the West in the game.
Price with a first down catch to the 21. And they're going to hand it off here. This is Patrick. And Isaiah Patrick will carry the ball inside the 20 to the 16 for a gain of 5. Patrick has had a couple of good carries in the game. He had a long run in the first half that set up the first score for the West. He'll go to the sideline now a bit hobbled.
Well, I'll tell you why. Number 14, Will Gusmus out of Houston High School in Tennessee delivered such a strong little blow on that running back on that last play. So that's why he's hobbling. Gusmus is a strong kid, strong linebacker. I was impressed by the way he just demonstrated ability on that football field in the last few practices.
And here's an end around and a carry for Cameron Ransom in some trouble. Reverses field and has room. He's to the 10. He has a block.
Wow.
He dives. He scores. Wow. Cameron Ransom touchdown.
That's how you get recognized, Ryan. That's how you jump up on the coach's radar. Run the reverse. The reverse was shut down. Turn right back around field. Outrun the defenders, get in the end zone, score, bring your team back from a deficit. That is exactly that's a big-time play right there. That kid who may not have been on anyone's radar before, I guarantee he's on someone's radar now.
Now the blocked extra point on the last West touchdown comes in big here because now the extra point for West will just tie the game. And a timeout is going to be called by the East. 2:38 left in the game. What a ball game this has been in the second half. The West has roared all the way back from down by as many as 20. And this extra point after the touchdown run by Cameron Ransom will tie the game if they're able to pump it in.
How exciting is amateur sports, Ryan?
It does not get any better, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I live for this. This is actually really cool to watch. I'm enjoying myself watching these kids give it their all. Again, like I mentioned earlier, as a coach, former player, nothing makes guys like myself prouder to watch young men like this play it with their hearts in the game, every ounce of blood pumping to stop somebody or to overpower somebody. That's basically what football is, running and hitting. Anybody who's ever played, watched it, or coached it will tell you football is only running and hitting.
They're going for 2.
Nice.
They're going to bypass the opportunity for a field goal. The West is riding a huge cloud of momentum right now, and they are going to try and take the lead with 2:38 left. Leg is under center. They're going to hand the ball off, and in a lot of trouble is the ball carrier. Dice for the goal line. The ball came out, and they're going to say that the conversion is no good. Looked like they handed the ball off to Patrick.
The moment on that play, the moment the running back stopped his feet to see where else to go, they were in trouble.
Wow. What do you think about the call there from Coach McMillan?
Oh, yeah, go with it. I mean, he's going for the win. He's not going to tie. McMillan's not trying to tie this game. He's a product of Roll Tide, so he wants to win.
Well, they certainly went for it there. Now, there is a lot of time left in this game, 2:38. West has all 3 timeouts. I don't know that you necessarily need to try an onside kick here.
You do not. You just don't want the wrong person to receive this kick. That's all.
Now, it looks like the East is going to anticipate an onside kick. They've got Bobby Holmes up much closer and much further out of the end zone than he normally has been.
It doesn't look like the West is lined up for an onside kick.
And after the kickoff, we'll go downstairs to Mercedes Owens, who is standing by with Cameron Ransom, who has scored the last 2 touchdowns for the West. And the play clock is winding down here. The East did not have their kickoff team out there. Here comes the kickoff. It's going to back up Council into the end zone, and he will knee it for the first time in the game on either side. Cameron Ransom is downstairs with Mercedes Owens. Mercedes, go ahead.
All right, Cameron, you scored the past 2 touchdowns. We're down by 1. What's going right for you out there?
Just glad to be able to score those last 2, get a part of the team, let them know that we're still in the game. Hope the defense just get out here and stop them. We can go back and go score again.
And this is your first time playing at AT&T Stadium. You're local. You're from Fairfield, Texas, just an hour away. Now, this is one way to break it in, huh?
Yes, ma'am, it is. It's just amazing to be here just to represent my school in Fairfield, Texas, and my last name. Just glad to be here.
So what made your decision to be a part of Blue-Gray football?
Well, really Sean just came along, found me on Huddle. He said I was a good player, thank God, but he got me in it a little bit, and I was selected by Chris.
No way.
Chris Taylor, and they helped me out. So I'm just glad to be a part of Blue-Gray. Yes, ma'am.
And what have you learned this weekend? What are you taking away from your experience?
I had to just not give up, keep fighting. Football is not just all about trying to make it out. You got to get your degree, college, make it to college, and it helped me in the long run. So I just thank Blue-Gray for that.
Well, those are big life lessons, and I think we just made some big moves out there for the West, so I'll let you get back. Thanks so much for talking, Cameron.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mercedes. And you're right, something big did just happen for the West. A fumble recovered by Coach Mark McMillan's team. They are going to have the ball at the East 42-yard line, down by just a point with 2:23 left in the game. And, you know, Sheldon, it's a very nice crowd here tonight at the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, but not quite nearly as big as some of the high school football crowds that you'll see in here during the high school football season here in Texas. But I'll tell you what, that roar that we just heard from that far side fan base was nearly just as loud as some of the roars you might hear during one of those high school football playoff games, and they are in it. This has been a great game, and we're in tune for a large, nice finish here at the end.
Most definitely, most definitely. Those parents are all into this, and the family, friends, and so forth. It almost sounded like this stadium was half full. But you're right, this is the game you want to see. It's been multiple lead changes, a huge deficit by one team to come back and even make it a game because it got crazy in that third quarter. But right now, this is right where you want to be with 2 minutes and 2:23 left in the game. And the team that's under with an option play to the right.
Yeah, here it comes, and a nice defensive play made by the East. That play did not go well for the West. Jawan Price took the option pitch. He's going to lose huge yardage. It was a 1st and 15 play. They're going to lose 5 more, maybe 6 more on that running play. It'll be 2nd down and long coming up for the West, and now only 2 minutes left. You've got 3 timeouts, but You got to move the ball forward here.
Thank
There is
you.
a penalty flag down right around the line of scrimmage.
Looked like it was thrown out there outside on one of the defensive backs.
And yeah, that is against the East. A face mask against the East. That is huge penalty on what would have been a 6-yard loss. The East just gave the West an automatic first down.
Right.
Oh my goodness, what a terrible mistake against the East defense.
Now, those are the mistakes that you make. Those are mental mistakes. Those are not lack of practice mistakes.
So first down for the West at the East 37-yard line, 34-33. Handoff, Patrick off left tackle into the secondary.
Holding.
Inside the 30, but brought down, and a holding call is probably coming here against the West. Penalty flag came in.
That looked like Will Gusmus again on that hit. That's a strong kid, and he had a look in his eye like eye of the tiger, Mr. Will Gusman, number 14 for the East team. He is a hitter, truly a hitter.
It's a block in the back. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Goodness.
We're going to move it back to the 43-yard line.
They need to stop doing that option play right now. They need to be attacking down the field to score, but the option is not going to get it for you right now. They don't have enough time to practice the option to be efficient with it. They got to put the ball down the field. Go with what's been working.
It is interesting that they have tried to run the ball. 90 seconds to play in the game. The West down by 1. Play fake. Throw right side's caught. And a wonderful, now he slips out of a tackle. And gets back to about the 40-yard line. Is going to gain about 3. I am not quite sure how the ball carrier was able to escape out of that arm tackle. Taking a look, that was Xavier Mason who made his first catch of the game and was able to get out of a tackle and gain a couple of yards. 1:17 left, the clock is stopped. There is an injured player down on the field, I believe, for the East.
We can talk about football here. We can talk about play calling, can't we, Ryan?
Sure, of course. I would love to.
We're down. You're down by 1.
Yep.
It's a minute and a half basically to go in the game, and we're throwing to the flare. We're throwing to the outside. Help me understand. Why not? If you've been overcoming this deficit, throwing down the field, maybe throw down the field some more, or no? Let me know.
Well,
help me understand.
I think that makes too much sense. I think you've got to try something that doesn't make quite as much sense as that does.
Gotcha. That helps throw the defense off, so that we can maybe throw down the field.
That's right.
Okay.
I think that sounds okay.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
You're right, though. All joking aside, it is interesting. The West has roared back on the back of the down the field attack and have abandoned that on this drive, needing to score.
Here it comes.
To perhaps win the game. 1:17 left. Here comes 2nd and 14. Lega back to throw across the middle. Caught. Ransom. 20-yard line. Still on his feet to the 16. A first down. Cameron Ransom is making a name for himself at AT&T Stadium tonight in the Blue-Gray All-American game.
Most definitely. Number 32, Garrett Givens, a Beaver High School linebacker, 6'2", 215 out of Ohio on the tackle.
And how about the throw from Lega?
He's shown all the skills that you want a young quarterback to be able to do. He can throw it accurately. He's able to run and avoid tackles. He's comfortable in the pocket, and he's just as comfortable running as he is in the pocket. I haven't seen any problems with this young man. Have you?
I have not either. He has some truly transcendent ability, not only escaping pressure, but also, as you said, standing in the pocket, making some throws that I'm not sure a lot of quarterbacks would have the courage to make. And, boy, what a second half by Cameron Ransom, helping his team roar back from what was a 20-point deficit. 58 seconds left now. The West down by 1, and they are in field goal range.
Is it safe to call Ransom a playmaker by this point in the
I
game?
think so. He's pretty much stamped that ticket, I think.
Good.
Zach Hoban is their field goal kicker.
And
this is
ready.
well within his range if called upon.
I don't see him warming up, though.
Snap, Lega, QB draw. Got outside the pocket. And we'll get to the sideline to the 15. It's going to gain 1. Clock stops as Lega got out of bounds.
Good job by the running back. What was it, number 32? Good job coming up and filling that hole. If he doesn't block the man that got in the backfield, then Lagos is dead in the backfield. So great job on the running back.
So second down and about 8. They gave Lega another yard there to the 14. Clock is stopped with 52 seconds. And a handoff. No, a play fake. Kept by Lega. He's to the 10. And just fighting for any extra yard that he could possibly squeeze out. He'll get to the 5. That'll be good enough for a first down. It'll be first and goal for the West. And the clock will stop with 46 seconds left. Well, we've had some exciting finishes over the years in these blue-gray All-American Bowls, but this will be one of the most exciting that we'll have. Furious comeback by the West here in the second half. And Coach Mark McMillan's team is 5 yards away from completing the comeback. And a penalty flag. This will be a delay of game penalty, and that's a huge penalty. I'm not really sure. Did they get a timeout before the penalty? I'm not sure, but
I mean, they have plenty of timeouts to use. Why not use them?
Yeah, well, again, I'm not sure that makes it just makes
right.
too much sense to
That's
call a
right.
timeout.
You mentioned
there,
that earlier.
So,
we don't want to make too much sense. It's only football.
So penalty will move him back to the 10. It'll be first and goal at the 10-yard line. 46 seconds left. And I don't think Coach McMillan has called the timeout yet. He had all 3 of them on the board at the end of the first half. He's got all 3 of them on the board right now.
He does like a fast-paced game, Ryan. He does like a very fast-paced game. So maybe that's part of his strategy.
Here's first and goal at the 10. Lega under center. Will hand it off to Price. Right up the middle. Nothing. Maybe to the 9. Gain of 1. 40 seconds and counting. And they might have just called for that first time. No, it's the East calling for timeout. That is their last timeout of the half, so they're trying to retain as much time as they can. And I don't know, Sheldon, maybe, can't read Mark McMillan's mind, but maybe he's just trying to set up for a field goal and trying to win the ball game that way.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think that's exactly what he's doing. Not certain why we take a chance. If I was the one, I wouldn't be taking a chance. I'd be trying to score if I could and run as much of that clock out as possible so when I did score that the East team wouldn't have a chance to come back. But we'll see. We'll see what he does.
So we were just told that was the last timeout for the East. There's still 1 up there on the board.
We'll be able to tell with this next play. If it's a running play to the right, off tackle, he's definitely trying to set up the field goal.
It's going to be second and goal from the 9-yard line, waiting for the play clock to start.
Oh, yeah, they got that big tight end, number 81, Gabriel Saunier, Lamberton, Texas. They're probably going to run the ball one more time just to get the ball in the right area so that the field goal unit can come onto the field.
You know, you mentioned the kicker for the West not warming up. I don't see a field goal net down here on the near sideline. I would imagine they don't have one over there either, so there wouldn't be
a reason.
An opportunity for him to warm up the traditional way, the way he might during a high school game. We're still waiting for the officials to sort something out and get underway here. And did the West call for timeout? Their offense is headed back to the sideline. I don't think they called the timeout. I think they're just using whatever stoppage this is about to go and just, kind of chat here before the second down and goal play. There are 3 officials that are out there. It looks like they're talking. Are they talking to Gus Bell? Looks like they might be talking to Gus.
They are talking to Mr. Bell himself.
Not quite
you got
sure
any
what
binoculars? We can maybe look down and
well,
see.
we've got our video screen down there. I'm not sure it's quite close enough to be able to lip read, but a long stoppage here, and I think we're just about ready hopefully, to get back to play. 38 seconds left in the game. So it looks like they put 7 seconds back on the clock, did the officials. And that conversation between the 3 officials down there and Mr. Bell is still ongoing. And now the fans getting a little restless. They'll begin chanting and trying to get the East defense pumped up. What a wild game this has been at AT&T Stadium, back and forth all night long. The West is trying to complete what would be a furious comeback. It was actually a member of the Chain Gang who had come all the way across the field to be a part of that conversation. And after all that is said, here we go. 2nd and goal at the 9.
Off tackle to the right.
Lega's under center. And they will play fake. Lega will keep it himself. He's at the 10. He sees the pylon.
Nice.
Touchdown,
Nice
Cooper
play.
Lega. The West has the lead.
Nice play. Nice play.
Untouched. 9-yard touchdown run, Cooper Lega. He has led his team all the way back from what was a 20-point deficit. And the West has taken the lead with 31 seconds left. And they will now try, I believe, for a 2-point conversion to try and make this a 7-point game. Well, let's wait and see. They have the field goal kicker out. Okay, so they're going to try for 1. And before the try for the point after, an illegal substitution is called against the West. Somebody might want to try to get Mark McMillan on the phone and tell Mark, this is some bad math here. You want to try to go for 2 to make it a 7-point game, but they'll try for 1 instead.
He doesn't think the East has enough time, so he's comfortable with just this point after.
And it is up.
That was
and good. So 31 seconds left. The West has scored now 26 unanswered to take the lead with 31 seconds left to play in the game. And Sheldon, I'm not sure we can say enough about the job that Cooper Lega has done in the second half. He did not start the game as the quarterback for the West, but he came in, led them on a touchdown drive in the first half, and has led this comeback from down by as many as 20, and they now have the lead.
Great play by Lega, and he's also had a good host of blocking down the field. His receivers have done a really good job, not only catching the ball and getting open and giving him a chance to make completions, but also, like I mentioned, blocking down the field has been instrumental in his success. So the whole entire West team has fought hard. Definitely attributed that to the leadership of Lega.
Well, just to give you an idea of the type of mental toughness and just the desire to win that is inside of Cooper Lega in the state of Utah, he is a state champion in 3 different sports. You talk about football, wrestling, and he was a state champion in the javelin as well. And the kickoff is going to be brought out by Holmes. He's at the 15-20, still on his feet, up close to the 25-yard line. Clock will stop with 24 seconds, and the East team has 75 yards in front of them to rewrite history in what would be the biggest comeback that I can recall in Blue-Gray football history, at least in games played here in AT&T Stadium.
They're going to have to be methodical on this one, and they have the talent over there to do it with the quarterback, with the receivers, but they got to hug the sideline as well as use their timeouts. Catch the pass on the sideline, step out of bounds.
Tristan Dillon will be the quarterback. There are 5 in the secondary for the West. Throw out to the right is caught in bounds.
Got to be a timeouts.
Well, they said to stop the clock. That was short of a first down.
That's not going to work.
10 seconds and counting. And
now they get a timeout.
They're going to finally have to call their timeout. That's their last one. Well, 8 seconds, down by 6. Do you have a clipboard down there? If you're George T, can you draw up a hook and ladder play?
Ooh, no. I mean, you can, but you might get somebody hurt with that one right now because the secondary, if you notice in that last play, were playing off about 10, 12 yards. They didn't want anything deep. They're allowing you to catch the hook, for one. They're allowing you to catch anything underneath. That last pass should have been, a young man should have, I mean, the pass was low, but he should have caught the ball and got out of bounds to the best of his ability. That would have stopped the clock. The East let too much time run off the clock. They only have 1 or 2 more plays, 2 tops if they do it right, but they can't get down the field.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think this is going to be the last snap of the game, unless it's a quick incompletion, which I can't see. I'm not sure why they would throw a short pass here, unless it was to sort of try and set up something that would involve a lot of lateral plays.
Yeah, I don't see it happening right now.
Well, I got my hands on an article in the Salt Lake Tribune about Cooper Lega, and this was a quote from him. He said he just likes to compete. He does so as much as he possibly can, and we have seen that competitive spirit on display here tonight at AT&T Stadium as he has led his team to within 8 seconds of a comeback victory here tonight in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. And the East team comes out in the wrong formation, trying to get lined up here with 8 seconds left. Down by 6, this could be the last snap of the game. Tristan Dillon in the shotgun. They've got 2 running backs.
Gotta be quick.
They'll pick up the blitz.
Let
Dillon looking deep. He's going to try to run it himself. He's tackled in bounds. And that should be the ball game. He was tackled with 7 seconds left. That was...
Gotta let the ball go. You can't take a sack right now. If you're trying to come back, you can't get sacked. You got to get out of bounds, throw the ball away.
There's 4 seconds left somehow, and they're going to clock it. He did get the first down. That was, well, the clock operator was very generous there, needless to say, because there were 8 seconds to start that play. Dillon was tackled with 7 seconds left. And this will be the last play of the game here with 2 seconds left. And if you're the East, the first order of business is to pick up the pressure. Dillon did not have a lot of time to stand back there and throw.
You might want to consider taking one of those running backs and sticking him out there as a receiver too. Make one of those linebackers cover an extra guy.
And now Brandon Orem is going to be in the game at the quarterback spot. They're going to throw the ball left.
They want you
it
to
is
do
caught underneath and inside move at the 50, tackled. That's the ball game.
They wanted you to do that.
The West has completed the biggest comeback in the history of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. They stormed the field, and it is pandemonium here at AT&T Stadium as the West has won it, the final,
Somebody's
40
down.
to 34.
I think somebody's down. Someone got banged up on that last play. I can't tell who it is. Someone's still laying on the ground right now.
So that'll possibly curtail the celebrating from the West.
Just a little bit, because there's a West player.
Now we'll have to keep an eye on that, but the game has come to an end here at AT&T Stadium. The West wins it 40 to 34. A furious second half comeback, down by 20 points. They score the final 26 points of the game, and they win it 40 to 34, the final. Big ball game. Cooper Lega leads his team from behind, and Cameron Ransom was big in that second half as well offensively for the West. Can't say enough about the job that those two did on the offensive side as the West was able to overcome 3 second half turnovers that led to 13 points. And, you know, something that's going to go unremembered in this game possibly, Sheldon, is the job that the West defense did after those turnovers were committed by the offense, and they held the East to 2 field goals on those 3 trips.
So true, Ryan, man. They did the best they could. You know, it takes – there's 3 facets of the football game. There's the offense, there's the defense, and there's the special teams. And you got to be able to win all 3. If you can win 2 of them, chances are good you can pull out the W. If you can win all 3 of them, then it's almost guaranteed you're going to win. And the West did the best they could. They fought as hard as they could off defensively But when you make those turnovers like they did, quite a few in the third quarter, it was almost over. But they did prove that you can come back and overcome that, because I thought they were out of it. But they proved that you can come back and win with more turnovers than the opposing team.
So a great game here tonight at AT&T Stadium. A pleasure to call it for you. Sheldon Jackson to my left. I'm Ryan Castle, our entire Impact Football Network crew. The final score tonight here at AT&T Stadium, the West 40 and the East 34. Tonight's broadcast has been a production of the Impact Football Network.